All right. Oh, I wanted to play my intro. God damn it, it's on that phone. Oh well. Hey YouTube, we're here live. Darren Eats. After the shrimp cocktail eating contest, we're at another eater's house, at John's house. Thank you, John, for the hospitality.
Yes.
After St. Elmo's shrimp cocktail eating contest today, that we, did good, but not great, I guess. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Finished in the money. I'm happy with that. Thank you for tuning in. So we just figured, I don't know. It's almost paying. We came outside, sit in the car. We're going to smoke a cigar. Who is it? No one. CRL in the
Man,
house. Hey, buddy. So, thanks for tuning in, guys.
How's it going, Toasty?
Happy Saturday. Congratulations, man, with the baby.
Yes. Beautiful
CRL,
baby.
beautiful baby. Love the pics. So, Chris. Hey, buddy. What's up?
How's it going?
My buddy Chris Haskell, a fellow protocol family member.
Maddie Dunn in the house. What's up? All the way from Canada.
Canadia's in the house. Awesome. Oh, I got some good ones buried here at the
Come
bottom.
on in the whereby, brother?
Oh, the whereby, yeah. Thank you for the shout. Yeah, maybe we should jump in there. How many? Yeah, I don't know. Let me go live. We're going to smoke our cigars live on YouTube and just bullshit and talk about it. But Chris, maybe we'll get over there.
Absolutely, 100%. So we'll have a live session. Yeah, smoke a cigar. Protocol cigars. Make sure to check them out.
Protocol cigars.
The best.
The P's over here. So, see, there's the P.
Red light district. I guess we could say, we have a new meaning for that term, but.
So.
Awesome.
V-cut?
Yeah.
All right.
Because these guys just bite the tip off and.
No, you don't want to do that. There's you got to take the little wrapper off the front there.
All right.
So maybe we'll jump over and we'll see how many people come in. We just want to talk about. We have 4 guys in now. Kevin. I guess everyone jumped in and said hi. I left. I don't know. We'll be over.
Thank you, Maddie. I appreciate that.
Oh, Maddie's still here?
Yeah, he said awesome job at St. Elmo's today. So.
Thank you. Hold on, I'm going to try to pull this up here. I can get this here real quick so we can read.
Let me see here.
I'm not going to say there's alcohol involved in this evening either, but can I? Oh yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
That's your thumbnail. That's awesome. Here we go. Does this help you?
Yeah.
Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Oh, here's a. Hold on.
Maybe
Let me just light this real quick.
Torch lighter.
Oh yeah, that's how you light your. You gotta toast it for you non-cigar people. You toast it, right? You toast it.
Smells good.
That's all you gotta do. So you toast it, you roast it, and then I don't know what they call it, but it works. But Darren, I turned the heat up for Darren. I'm gonna lower it.
Thank you.
So, I hope you guys can hear us okay. If you can't hear us okay, let us know. Thanks for the thumbs up. I appreciate you guys tuning in tonight. Like I said, we're going to, I don't know. You got any questions? I know everyone's saying hi. Shotgun a beer. Maddie, you know what? I don't really want to drink that much, but I think I have some 24-ounce Arnold Palmers in the back of the car.
Twisted tea or something like that?
Yeah. It's like half and half. Lemonade and tea.
Super chats for that.
Cash App, George Chigger. Venmo, George Chigger. PayPal, George Chigger.
These things are smooth.
Yeah, these are good. These are the Themis. This is a Connecticut wrapped light cigar. It's their lightest cigar. It's their #1 cigar. Protocol sells. So, but happy Saturday, everybody. Shrimp, I don't know what to say, man. Like, I'm happy that I ate 7 pounds, but I wish I ate more because my goal was 10, and if I ate 10, I would have beat Nick and Darren. So,
well, here's the thing. I think this is something. Don't take offense to this. This is an honest analysis.
Talk to me, dude, because I really think I'm more of a challenge eater than a speed eater anymore.
I think today, the problem with both of us, we were underprepared. I think we can agree on that.
I mean, I did try a new technique today. I did not practice. Same thing with pork roll. Like, I did something different. Like, I feel it worked to my advantage today, the way I was eating, but I was thinking too much while I was eating because I'm like, oh, I'm doing this, it's working. But in the same token, I'm like, wow, this is taking a lot of time. So, and I was trying to mix it up between the water and my hot tea. You know, I don't know. I'm not thrilled with my performance today, personally. I'm glad that we were close.
Yeah, because here's the thing.
It was a close field, though. If you look at the numbers, really, it went up in very close increments. So, and even John did a great job today with 5+ pounds. So He wasn't far behind me, but I wasn't far behind him, and then I wasn't far behind Nick. Like, you know, it was just gradually. It was weird how it just kind of like stepped down. And even Matthew did a great job today too. Like, you know, because it was just yeah, it was just, you know, it was like the ladder. Now, like, it did, you know, don't get me wrong, from Nick to Mickey, it jumped a little bit, but it was still kind of like steady. Like, we're all like a pound or so. You're not lit all the way. So you gotta light that one side here.
That's close enough, right?
Nope. What do we got here? Shotgun and beer. When it comes to shrimp cocktail, do you have to finish both the sauce and shrimp? Yes. Can kind of like poutine. Yes, just like poutine. Matt, we do have to finish. Matt's asking if we have to finish the sauce and the shrimp. So yes, it is. It's a combined unit for 1 pound
this
per
is one
serving.
Of the few, because I'll be honest, like, this is one of the few contests where, like, the poundage is very accurate. Because, you know, like, poutine, real talk, I did not eat 20 pounds of poutine. I would say, like, you know, maybe 14, 15 pounds, something like that, but, like...
Yeah, but did we really... Now, they're saying the dish is part of the pound of shrimp now, so that takes way... Wait, that's what Jeff was saying. Jeff thinks he only ate, like, 7, 8
Jeff's
pounds
always
of shrimp.
hard on himself.
I don't know, but...
Because I felt like I think we both ate a solid, you know, 7 to 8 pound range. Here's the thing about George, though, folks. I'll say this, like, early on, I was like, okay, I got a good lead. But then I slowed down drastically, you know, after, like, the first 3 minutes. And then I was like, oh, man, George is catching up. I was like, oh, I got to try to maintain this somehow. And I barely did it. I
can't believe we were that close to each other.
I knew we were close. I was like, because once time was over, I was like, nah. I think George might have beaten me. Because I looked over at your bowl. Because I noticed you had your bowl stacked. And mine was, like, spread out. So I was like, I don't know, man. This is close. This is going to be close.
Yeah, because we started with 6, and they brought me 2 extra, and I had 1 bowl left. So there should have, right? 6 plus 2, 1 left. Yeah, it's 7. Like, I don't know. Like, I get in my head. I start thinking about stuff. You're listening.
Thinking about the man who commented.
Oh, dang! You guys are still.
Absolutely, Jeff. Come join us, Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff, you should have hung out, bud. He's probably home already.
Because Jeff, man, I would love to hang out more with you, dude. Like, honestly, I think one thing that would be fun Like you, Jeff, and I, like if we go out on like an excursion, like off road, that would be so much fun,
that would be
dude.
so cool. Go
Jeff on his
off-roading,
Jeep.
hang out, yeah. You know, but Jeff, so your lips are burnt from the sauce. The sauce was weird tasting this year. Like,
You think so?
I
I
mean,
think it was
I
like
love
crazy.
it's you know, I love the sponsor. I love the food, but like even when Matt and not Matt, Derek came off stage from the undercard, I could smell it on them, and it was just
Really?
it was just different. Like, I don't know.
Because from my perspective, I mean, once again, everyone's different. Like, I thought the shrimp was comparable to the one year I did it. It's just I knew my performance today was all on me. I was like, you know, I haven't been training as hard because you know, like with a new
So
job.
grab your cigar. Can someone do me a favor and screenshot this? Me and Darren screenshot us and send me the pic of our protocols. Turn around so the P's showing. Company man. He's been calling me company man all day.
Yes, he is a.
And don't hide your face. So like put it off to there you go. So cheers. Thank you if someone could do that for me. If not, I'll go back through and grab it. But so
these are great cigars.
Horseradish is.
Because I'm not a regular cigar smoker, but this goes down smooth.
I spoke his name and he appears. That's Jeff. That's what he does. He appears. Probably more horseradish in it. Had more horseradish. No, it wasn't the horseradish. I mean, it's a horseradish sauce. I don't know. I'm not it's a red sauce. I'm not knocking the sauce, but the smell bothered me today. Like I've been smelling a couple different things today. It was just bothering me. I don't know.
Because for me, like,
I heard the sauce was from the restaurant, not from the
bottle. Yeah,
bottles.
It's definitely not the bottle.
Oh yeah, it's definitely not the bottle restaurant. They make it at the restaurant for us because the quantity. So,
like,
yeah, Jeff, it's definitely not bottled. It's not their mass-produced sauce. So, can I hit the thumbs up on my own thing? I can.
Yes,
Hit that thumbs up, guys.
Right. Try from your phone.
Yeah, right.
Double it up.
But yeah, just having a good time, hanging out. You know, the hospitality. John and his wife. You know, thank you guys so much. It's a beautiful home, beautiful family. It's a great area. You know, it's really, really nice to be out here. We, after the contest, we went to the after party at St. Elmo's.
Amazing food.
Oh yeah, the food, the spread. There was sushi. There was wings. There was spinach.
Cheese.
Yeah, mac and cheese, spinach dip, and then of course they have beer on tap. They do Stella. They like Stella, so they have a keg of Stella on tap for us. And then of course they had bourbons. They have their own bourbon. We were drinking the St. Elmo's bourbon, delicious. Just really great time to hang out for a few hours with the sponsors and the volunteers that put it on and the employees, and it's a great time. It
Absolutely.
really, really is. So I'm very lucky. I'm very fortunate that I was able to get out here for this contest to be part of it. So,
and here's the thing about the bourbon, because I was talking with one of the sponsors about the bourbon, because me personally, I'm a beer man. I don't really drink a whole lot of liquor, but after Chick Dog said, "Hey, you got to try something that's great," and I was like,
yeah,
okay.
it's good bourbon. Like,
it is good. I don't know if you would agree with me, but it had a really good fruity accent to it that I liked.
Oh yeah, totally. So like for years they one of their famous signature drinks at the bar is Maker's Mark, and then they do a cherry. They add cherry juice to it and make their mix. And now they actually make their own bourbon with the cherries. It's awesome. It's some of the best stuff out there. I got to find some tomorrow before I leave to head home, because everyone back home likes bourbon. We should be drinking bourbon. We should be drinking St. Elmo's bourbon. But yeah, we're going to find a food challenge. Jeff, do you find a food challenge? You
should join us, Jeff, tomorrow.
Yeah, if you're still in town, Jeff, we're going to go do a steak challenge downtown.
And potentially ramen too. So
maybe ramen. Who knows?
We'll see.
I don't know. There's some pizza logs I want to go eat.
Pizza logs?
Downtown, yeah. There's breadsticks, but they're like pepperoni pizza.
Oh, is that the one where you have to like beat the record or whatever?
I don't know, maybe. I gotta look at it, but
And also this good stuff
Bullet
right
bourbon
here.
is the best. It is good stuff. Bullet's good. that
Me.
seltzer is killing him.
No, went down the wrong way a little
Wrong pipe. So, oh man, just happy holidays, everyone. Happy December. Fucking happy 2021's almost fuck over. Like,
wow. And guess who has a birthday in December?
In the morning. Oh. You flew into Ohio? I'm guessing, Jeff, and drove over?
I'm in Columbus. He's Ohio? What?
Yeah, right? Columbus, Ohio, right? Like, there you go.
White Claw?
Well, Claw.
Oh,
he's Canadian. We won't hold that against him.
No. It's the stuff here, High Noon.
Yeah, High Noon.
I don't think it's like a pure seltzer.
Oh, it's
I think
vodka soda.
It's good stuff, though. It tastes great.
Pick up your cigar so I can ash mine. Thank you. Yeah, you don't have to show, but the oh, all right. So Jeff's out of town early.
I wonder if Joey would do a challenge, because that would get some great views. Like,
maybe
we do a challenge with Joey, because he don't live too far from here now, right?
No, John was saying he's like half hour west where we're at now. So, oh no, he's going to Buffalo tomorrow. Buffalo Bills game. Pat Bertoletti drove in.
Nice. Pat's a great dude. Have you met Pat before?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
That's awesome. Right, 2020. When he was gold bonding everyone.
Oh yeah, no, but I've seen Pat around. So definitely a good time. Yeah, guys, I don't know. I just figured we'd go live, talk, say hey. I can't thank you guys enough for all your support. Jeff, I really appreciate you coming in if you're still here, checking out my lives. I love watching your videos. You are an animal. You're a machine, man.
Yeah, I would say the only suggestion I have for Jeff, like, the videos are great. Do more live streams and let your personality shine more. And because I love it when you do your live streams, dude. Like, you'll talk about anything.
Oh yeah.
And I love that. I think your viewers would love that, because your live streams are great. And Jeff is low key funny. That's the thing. Like,
oh, he has his personality. I love his personality.
Absolutely. Because Jeff, I mean, he's like this low key guy, so humble. The humblest here.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
And like, but this guy is like super jacked, crazy strong.
I pick things up and put things down. I can't believe that Sam like has that in your intro. I think it's great. But Sam did a great job today, man.
Absolutely.
He was looking
Sam
good.
Kills it.
He's been on fire the last few contests, and it's just he's an animal,
Absolutely, 100%.
So, but he disappeared quick. He must have had an early flight out.
Hey, what's up, Tom, bro? How's it going, man?
Yeah, what's up, bud?
Man, any questions, ask away, folks. That's what we're here for. That's why we do these live streams.
Tom, what's your picture of? Do you have was that a shaved ice truck? Is that what you do? You got a shaved ice truck, or is that just a? That's what it looks like. Man, I'd love to do a shaved ice challenge.
That would be awesome. I think in Vegas there's one, right? Like, it's like a banana split, like a shaved ice thing, and like, I forgot what it's called. I think Heavy D would know. Another awesome eater, by the way.
Oh yeah, Heavy D. You got to check out his channel. We were just watching the pumpkin pie that me and him ate back in September. And
yep, Maddie knows. CJ Italian Nights.
Exactly. Oh wow, that's awesome.
No, I think you're exactly right, Maddie.
Yeah. I think that makes sense. I don't know if it's like a franchise or what. Different.
That's awesome if you got a food truck like a Kona Ice. Because I think a Kona Ice in like any major city would be very successful. That's awesome.
Oh, that's great, man. I'll come up to Massachusetts.
Well, one of the challenges I would like to do that you tag me in CRL is that ramen challenge.
I tagged you in both. Do you just tagged us this week in that new challenge, right? Is that what you're talking about?
Hmm?
No, CRL tagged us in a.
Well, he tagged
think
me in
that
like a
was
ramen challenge recently, and
No, sandwich challenge? I don't know. Jeff is local and I know Jeff's local. Well, it's good to be busy, right, man? And that's the biggest thing. Like you guys can see, I got like my sponsors over here. You know, I got enter.net. I tell you what, if you guys need a website, I'm going to blow it up right now. Go to enter.net. They'll do a basic website, 50% off with Chigger Eats promo code, and they'll fill you in all the details. But it's pretty much my website for the year. What you guys got with enter.net, great sponsor, but it's busy, right? So this road trip's brought to you by Biagio's Pizzeria, and they've helped me out the last couple road trips, and they want to do a challenge, but they're so busy they just don't have the time to do the challenges. Like they did make me a 20-inch deep dish stuffed Chicago pizza last month. I guess it was 10.25 pounds, and I drank like a gallon of soda with it, like hour and 20 minutes. And and the guys will make me whatever I want when I come in to eat, but like we got to do the 6-foot hoagie, we got to do this, we got to do that, and they're always jumping on board helping me out. And I love the crew over there, and I love all my pizza sponsors. Like I got Caddy Corner Neighborhood Pub and Pie, Protocol Cigars, we got Bada Boom Fireworks, so I love all my sponsors, but everybody is so busy to do stuff, to promote stuff, to get into the restaurants, restaurants right now, it's too busy to get away. And like even Joe's like, you're going out? And I'm like, yeah, do you want to go? And he's like, dude, if I could get someone to make pizza for me this weekend, I would totally come out to the contest for the weekend with me. And it just can't do it. He's too busy. So I wanted to see George walk around SPO someday up looking like a NASCAR driver.
He'd be a big NASCAR driver.
Yeah, but I know
most NASCAR dudes are like.
But I know what CRs.
Like that.
Yeah, but like he's talking about like the name. So dude, you should have saw me today, right? So I got my shirt on. I got my Caddy Corner shirt on underneath. I got.
You would have an awesome NASCAR. It's like bada boom.
Oh my cups inside. I got my cup all stickered. I got my bottles all stickered. Had the cigar hang out of the hat. I got my new chicken dipper.
Which is awesome.
Sponsor, pin. I got the internet on the hat. I got chiggereats.com. So I'm getting there. I am getting there, and it's working. It's helping me. It's getting me across the country to all these events this year. I love all my sponsors. I can't thank them enough. Because if it wasn't for them, you guys wouldn't see me on the circuit this year, because financially, COVID, but that's not for this time. But I gotta thank my sponsors, because it's just awesome. What else we got going on? Kona Ice.
These aren't just like sponsors that you're doing out of obligation. These are, every product that George endorses is quality.
Yeah, dude, if I don't like it, I'm not going to endorse it, right, guys? And like, I don't care what they would pay me. I'm not going to sell out, because that's what it's not about that. Like, I want to enjoy what I'm doing, and I appreciate all the help from all my sponsors, and I appreciate their product. I appreciate their mentality. I appreciate how they do things. And I've had sponsors this year I've walked away from, and they sponsor me a little bit, but I don't like their business practices. I don't like how they're doing things. I just don't need to interact with them. I don't need to promote them. And that's the same thing with my food challenges. Like when I've done some food challenges across this country that, if I go somewhere and the waitress is having a bad day or the waiter's having a bad day and my experience is a little off, I want to chalk it up they're having a bad day. But when the owner comes out and gives me shit about stuff, I'm done. I don't need to edit that video. I don't need to tell you guys, oh, you got to go check this place out. It sucks. Like nothing. I just don't need to talk about it. And I've had that happen this year too. And it is what it is. Yeah, I don't know. Sponsor up. I love it.
I'm gonna take a quick break.
Okay. Are you okay?
Let's break.
Oh yeah, do your thing. So
I'll be back.
Sponsor up. God loves the sponsors. I love it. You guys are awesome. So okay, hold on. 2015 So, Tom, a quick story. Like, I'm originally from California, and you know, I've always had the ethic to work, do different things. So I used to mow like the neighbor's lawn. I used to, you know, the neighbor's lawns. I had like 3 or 4 lawns, and doing different things. And my mom's like, "Oh, you know, you should do a snow cone stand, you know, shaved ice stand." And I started off with like this little, you know, brick. You put a little brick of ice in, and hand crank. Oh no, you know what I started? It was the Snoopy snow cone shaver. That's what I started with, right? Selling, you know, stuff to the kids when I was like 10 years old or whatever. And then I upgraded to like a bar, you know, a house bar shaved ice. You know, it's like a crank style. And then my dad's like, you know, "Come on, kid, get in the truck. We're going for a ride." And we went and got a shaved ice machine. I still have it. It's in my garage. I like to get it like refurbished, but it holds a 10-pound block of ice. And I tell you what, I would set up, open my snow cone stand every day at the same time. I had a line, you know, of kids during the day, and then when the parents came home, they, you know, after dinner, I had the snow cone rush from all the neighbors and everything. It was awesome. So I used to sell snow cones in California when I was a kid, you know, well before, you know, I don't know. I should have been selling stuff and working stuff, candy bars. I don't know. I probably had a dozen plus flavors. My mom used to take me to the, you know, the Restaurant Depot, you know, store back then to buy the gallon jugs of the different flavors. And then I had molds for the, you know, the ice, and it was awesome. So, you know, I think that's awesome. You guys started this shaved ice. It'll be cool to see collaborations with familiar competitors, food eaters, searches, Wayne. Yeah, Wayne's awesome.
Wayne,
yeah. I love Wayne, coach. Like, he's not my coach, but he's been an inspiration to me. And you know, talking to him, he's very knowledgeable. You know, what a great channel he has, and you know, I'm so glad that he was able to recover from his you know, health issues this year. He looks great, and he's just chugging along. So,
because here's one thing I want to tell Wayne about Wayne is because I've had people ask me like, "Why is Wayne your coach? You know, you can eat more than him." It's not so much like, was Vince Lombardi a great player? No, but he was a phenomenal coach. You know?
right? Yeah. So
like, Wayne knows his stuff. Like, he has a vast plethora of knowledge. He's been doing this for a long time.
I tell you what, he's coached a lot of the MLE eaters, and they have their, like, you could tell.
Because
like,
I know Wayne's too humble to say this, but he coached Carmen. I'm just gonna I won't put that out there.
I beat Carmen, my
Yes, you
first
did.
qualifier. So I'm just throwing that out there.
That's one thing that George will always have over me. I've never beaten Carmen. Like, I've beaten Jeff, I've beaten Joey, I've beaten like.
Yeah, you have. Dude.
some
You're a
high-profile
fumble
eaters.
eater, you know, yourself. But
But Carmen, he was something else.
Carmen.
I
was
liked
an
him.
animal.
He was a smart ass. Like, you know, he had the charisma.
I got to meet him in the, you know, the beginning. Then he took the year off, and he came back, and I was still trying to qualify. I didn't know what I was doing. I had no idea, you know, but I was training with Laurel, and, you know, kudos to her, man. I really appreciate, this is all her fault, right? Because she got me into this, but I love her for it. And I, you know, even Badlands, like I was talking to someone tonight about Badlands. You know, when I beat Carmen, I walked off stage, and Badlands is like, "Yo, you need to hang out with us. You need to learn how to eat, and you could be somebody." So
Here's one
this
thing about
support
Badlands.
really helps us.
Badlands, he has the most misleading name ever. Because, like, Badlands, but the man doesn't have a bad bone in his body.
Right. So it's not that he
told me the story about how Badlands came about, because
the
I think
one
it was
reporter, right?
like, he was in the Glutton Bowl back in the day on Spike TV or something, and somebody called him like Badlands Booker, and he liked it, and it just stuck.
I think he recently mentioned it to me. I think it was like a reporter. You know, was giving a lot of people nicknames back then, like writing up, you know, the stories about people. And he's Badlands is from New York. He's from the Badlands. Like, that's how he got his name. It's not that he's a badass. I mean, he's one of the sweetest people I've ever met. But it's from where he's from. So, Tom, I see what you're saying. Yeah, definitely. Shaved ice and slushies are 2 different things. Just like Slurpees and slushies and ices are all different, you know, at the stores. So yeah,
Slurpees.
I definitely get it. I understand it. Knowledgeable to competitive
And then
eaters.
that,
Who
you know-
is? Oh, Carmen. So Carmen he was an eater. He came on the circuit. I don't know. It was 2015 when I beat him. So I think he dabbled a little bit in 2015.
The 2016 you went beast mode.
Well, then he like disappeared, and then he came back, and he was just destroying people. He took training for competitive eating to the extreme.
Absolutely, because he told me all his methods.
Oh
and
yeah,
it's
no,
wild.
I've heard a lot of things, and he went to the extreme with all his eating and training, and he came out on the circuit, went to number 2 immediately, killing everybody, you know, in the
Absolutely.
challenges. And he was really predicted to beat Joey. And he, you know, he had some issues. It's not my place to talk about his issues or whatever. Like, not that he had personal issues, but like issues with some of the contests, how they were ran, judges, stuff like that. And it threw him off. And then he just hung it up. He's like, I'm done. And he just walked away.
What Carmen told me was he promised himself, I'm gonna try to beat Joey in like my 3-year contract. And we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
And then he quit. Which I have a lot of respect. At the time, I was like, oh no, just sign another year. Don't be, you know, lame about it. But I have a lot of respect because it's got to be hard to step down, you know, when you're that good.
You're at the top
Exactly.
in the world, and just okay, my 3-year contract's over. I'm walking away.
Look at my really early MLE videos because
Carmen's right
Carmen
there.
kicked my
Yo,
butt, like-
a lot. Yeah.
because the thing was like, I think once you joined MLE, Carmen only competed a little bit, but like my rookie
I got
year,
in, and he was getting out.
because I remember my
So-
rookie year, Joey, he didn't compete for a while because he was on the what was that show, like
Oh, Amazing Race. Yeah.
So I was like, okay, sweet, you know. And then I competed against Carmen every contest. I would always come in second place next to him, but he would always beat me by a big margin. And the one thing that pissed me off so much about Carmen was like, it was a one-sided rivalry. It's like, Carmen's my rival, and Carmen, like, he's like, there's Darren.
Yeah.
He never acknowledged it. I was like, you suck, man. But after he quit competitive eating, I realized how cool of a guy he is, you know, because like I've talked to him a few times, like after he quit, and he's a really smart guy, you know, smart young guy.
Oh,
he's
definitely.
very young.
Yeah, he's younger than we are, I think.
I feel like
And-
like 25, 26, something like that.
Oh, he might be a little older now, but like I know 2018, my rookie year was his last year in competition.
And I think he was still really young then, like
Oh, yeah,
23,
definitely.
something like that, 22.
And he's done well. He's a very smart individual. He's done well with himself outside of this.
I wonder if we could get Carmen on the chat. That'd be awesome.
That'd be too cool, right? So Carmen's not have a... No, he does not. He deleted everything. He had a great YouTube channel. Deleted it all.
But for like, if you want to watch any Carmen footage, like, I'm not trying to promote my own channel, but like, no, seriously, like, look at my like old rookie footage. from
Darren
MLA.
Eats.
I competed.
YouTube.com/Darren Eats.
But like the early footage, I competed against Carmen all the time. And he would always
Oh,
piss
yeah.
me off so
His
much.
rookie year, Carmen was on fire. So that would have
He
been
was like winning every
2017.
contest.
2017, he was on top of the world and just couldn't beat Joey at hot dogs. And that's why Joey's the #1 eater, because no one could beat Joey at hot dogs. Matt Stoney has. He's done it once.
But
right?
that was when, let's be honest, like
What?
Joey was like, you know, getting comfortable.
Oh, yeah, he got comfortable. And it
And then
woke
the
him
year
up.
afterwards, he kicked it into high gear and he hit 70 for the first time.
Yeah, just stepped it up. He went from low 60s to 70. And now it's just like he's just climbing the ladder one step at a time. Because nobody's close to him right now. Like,
I'll be honest, I think had I stuck like really, really hardcore and barring, you know, any health issues, I think I could have eventually hit 60, but 70 is a different story. 70, I don't know if I would ever hit 70. I think I could have hit 60, but
top 3 ranked. So there's savages outside and inside of them.
I will give an honest MLE like top 3. Like MLE top 3, I would say is Joey, Jeff, then Mickey.
Yeah, Mickey's an animal right now. Like I knew it. Like she comes back from maternity leave. She's on fire. Like we haven't seen this Mickey like this year. I don't think this Mickey hasn't been on the circuit for 4 or 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Easy.
I agree.
Easy, right? That's nothing against Mickey. I love Mickey and Nick together, and she's coming back. She's going to kick some ass. Watch out.
Boy, she kicked butt today.
She kicked ass today. 11.5 pounds of shrimp, right? So insane. Like, it's just going to, she's on fire and just running with it. All these contests. Great time. Definitely Jeff. Like, I think if Jeff could beat Joey at hot dogs, Jeff would be number one.
I think Jeff, like, with all due respect, if you're still on here, Jeff, I'm shocked that he hasn't done over 60 yet. Considering because every other contest, he's killing it.
He's an animal. Dude,
He's
Jeff,
being
I don't know
doughy
how
on the
you
regular.
eat pizza the way you eat pizza, bro.
It's insane.
Like,
anything doughy or like any confection product.
It's crazy. Like, I mean, and we're, I'm good at something that someone else isn't good at, and vice versa. But like, that's why Joey's so good at hot dogs. Like, Joey's made his life hot dogs for the last 15 years. And he's just going with it. And the same thing with shrimp. Like, man, like, he moved to Indiana. He's here. And, shrimp is his contest just as well as, hot dogs. But Jeff is much closer to Joey with the shrimp. And as the conversation I had with Jeff today, he loves shrimp. And I don't know why he didn't eat more. So.
But if we're including outside people, even with the outside folks, I would still say Joey, then Jeff. And then the third would be a toss-up with outside folks. Because I think it would be a tie between Mickey, Molly, and Dan.
Yeah, Dan's an animal, definitely. I mean, Molly is just crazy. Her techniques, her
she's
ability,
the fastest eater.
Yeah, definitely natural, fastest eater.
I will be honest, like, if she were to do a hot dog, she would win for sure. But I don't think she would do, like, because people are like, oh, she would be Joe. I don't think so, no. I think she would do, like, high 50s.
Oh, she would definitely crush Mickey with hot dogs.
But I don't think she would crush Joey. I don't think.
I mean, it's hard. Joey's just...
He's a machine.
It's
crazy
level.
watching him. It's like, he doesn't even look human. He looks like a hot dog eating machine. It's just, it literally looks like this, except, like, he's actually eating hot dogs.
He's more efficient at it than that. Like, I mean, when it gets to, you have 8 minutes, 10 minutes to do something, you have to be so efficient, like a machine. It just has to become, like, every move you make is calculated. It's going to take me X amount of seconds to do this, X amount of seconds to do that. And Jeff's figured it out, right? With a lot of his foods. Joey's definitely figured it out with the hot dogs. I'm working on it, and I don't know. I mean, I feel that I have the capacity.
I honestly don't think Jeff has figured it out with the hot dogs yet. I still think he should do more than 60.
I said some foods. Jeff's figured it out with his foods, not hot dogs. But, the first time I went up against Jeff, they're like, oh, yeah, he's in low 40s. I'm like, oh, I could be in the low 30s. Maybe Jeff has a bad day. I have a good day. And then that day, like, Jeff hit 50 or something. I'm like, you mother, his 51 at the Boston qualifier. And, and that's the thing. That's how I know Jeff in the beginning, and Carmen too, from trying to qualify. And then, when I hit the circuit in 2018, I was seeing Carmen. I'm like, oh, I could learn from this guy. He's very knowledgeable, awesome to talk to. Knock your ash off. And then you get lighted up. Then you're probably going to have to tip it or something. There you go. And so I was excited, and then, like, he just 4th of July over, never competed again. So is what it is. What do we got here? Yeah, Darren's the man with oysters. He figured that out 100%.
I just like them.
There's
no secret. Yeah, I love it.
Molly just literally puts whole food in her mouth. And
I mean, don't get me wrong.
Chewing.
I'm not discrediting Molly. She's a phenomenal eater.
She
but
is.
I don't think, because I'm gonna catch a lot of flack for saying this, but like she competes in a lesser league.
Oh yes, 100%. Who's she competing against?
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong.
I love Dan.
If she competed in MLE, she would do fantastic, especially events like Buffet Bowl. She would kill it, absolutely. Yeah. But hot dogs, I don't think she would have the crazy numbers that people think she would.
Hot dogs aren't easy, people. It's like just because we could eat, someone could eat 10 pounds of pizza doesn't mean they could eat 10 pounds of hot dogs. Exactly. Hot dogs is its own
animal
world.
Yeah,
own animal, 100%.
don't get me wrong. I think she would do phenomenal. I think she would do like, you know, high 50s, maybe like low 60s, but I don't think she would put up in the 70s. Is what I'm saying.
So,
But I think one thing George and I can claim, we are the fun eaters.
there you go. Yeah. So Tom likes you eating oysters. I figured oysters. Seafood just never fried. Oh yeah, fried seafood's like, I don't know. It's not.
It's hard,
it's not
yeah.
the same. I love sushi. I love good seafood. I agree with you, Tom.
Molly claims 80. No, I don't think so. There's no way she did 80 in practice. No way. I would say maybe her best practice would be, I would say 65.
I don't know. Where's the video?
Exactly.
If we, you know, if you didn't see it, it didn't happen.
I mean, we're both honest eaters. We don't like, you know, we don't keep a lot of secrets. My best practice number is 56.
Yeah, I think I've what 30, 37, 38 around there. You know,
because that one year it was crazy watching George progress. I think it was like 2019. I think like every practice you were like adding 5 hot dogs because you started out with 20 and I was like, okay, cool. And then next practice 25. I was like, wow, that's a big jump. 30, then 35, and I was like, God dang, this guy's gonna like hit 60.
That was the goal, but then we like the 3 months of hot dogs he was over, and then but when I've been training with Laurel since 2010. I was her sparring partner since 2010, and you know 2015 she finally got underneath my skin enough to try to qualify. And back then I wasn't training, I wasn't doing nothing except just showing up once a week practicing with Laurel. And you know 2015, 2016, 2017 I kind of heard what training was. I kind of like, all right, let me try this, let me try that, and I'm like, no, I'm not feeling it. So like 2017 I kind of like, okay, I need to do this. And then, you know, hot dog season's 3 months out of the year. So she only trains 3 months out of the year. Does all the contests that she wants to do, but 3 months out of the year, she's really training, pushing herself. And I was on her schedule. And I said, well, you know, for me to take it to the next level and to be competitive, I need to train year round. And that's what I did. In 2018, 2019, I was training daily, really 5-6 days a week, pushing it. And you know, I'm not going to lie, man, 2020, I was like, I started early in the season and I trained all winter. Like, I was like, okay, this is going to be a year, you know, I'm going to kick ass. We went and did red beans and rice. I don't know, 12 and a half pounds, fourth place or something.
I thought you came third.
Third? No, I mean, me and Mike tied. I don't know.
Mike did really good. I didn't expect that from Mike.
Yeah, and Mike's a great eater, man, and he just doesn't get enough credit. He should be ranked higher in MLE.
Because I think, here's the thing, one thing I do want to address is people don't understand, like, because a lot of people assume, oh, they're on YouTube, so they're doing this full time. No. I'll tell you right now, the only people doing this full time, Joey, Stoney, Molly to an extent. But
yeah,
like
but
we have like
Molly's a full-time mom. You know, she works full-time.
Yeah.
Like Dan works full-time.
Dan, yes, he does.
Yeah, I mean, he owns his own, you know, auto body business. Like, he is a busy man. I don't know how he has time to eat. Like, I mean, he's remodeling his house, like everything. Like, he's just constantly going.
I respect him because, like, I know Dan, like, we started off as like buddies because I still remember the first time I contacted, or Dan sent me a message like, hey, I've been watching your videos, Dan. I'm like fan of yours. You wanted to challenge with me? I was like, yeah, sure, you know.
I know we haven't talked about Gideon. Gideon's a freaking animal, right? Like,
I think Gideon is one thing about Gideon. I honestly think he's one of the fastest eaters out there. He can eat very fast. It's just, I think the capacity is the limiting factor.
He hits capacity very quick, unfortunately, but he eats so quick. And I mean, you guys watch videos, you see our updates, we talk. I eat next to Gideon all the time. That poor boy is just pushing food down his throat. Like, he is pushing it down. I could just I could hear him in my head right now eating, and it's something completely different. If you guys ever have the opportunity to watch us eat in person, that is one person you do want to watch in person. You know, so Gideon's awesome. Gideon is definitely where he's ranked in the in the top 10 right now. He definitely deserves to be there 100%. He comes in, kills it. He did a great job at spam for the third place. It was awesome, so, but like, there's a lot of great eaters, and I'm not knocking Molly by any means, but to claim that in practice, that's great, but show up at the table, eat,
Exactly. It's different.
Coney Island's different, man. I can't believe I hit my PR this year
That was awesome.
at Coney, which isn't bad. I beat my PR by a half a hot dog, but I beat my Coney PR by
a lot. Because I think
6-7 hot dogs, because I think I've
hot
done
dogs,
like
I believe.
26. So it's extreme, but you guys don't get it. Like, when you show up at Coney and walk out on that stage, you got the cameras, you got the crowd, you got the people, the nerves. Like, it's a mind fuck, 100%. Just
Absolutely.
going to the Super Bowl, right? Like, and then you got to compete. It's a different experience. So I am very happy, showing up, being at the head table, and coming in 7th this year with 32 hot dogs and buns is awesome. I love it, and I just want to grow from here 100%. So I'm going to continue my training through the winter. We're going to be off here for the next 2 months, 2.5, 3 months. Hopefully, we can do something for the Super Bowl this year.
That'd be awesome.
And get back into the season in February, and just go, right? So, like, because this year where I'm at today, I wanted to be at in 2020, and we lost that. But now we're coming back, and we finished strong this year. Like, the MLE did a great job working with our sponsors, getting us, these great events to, finish out the year. John did a tally. I think there was like 14 events this year. Last year we did 5 or something.
Yeah, because
4
it was
or
like
5.
very exclusive last year.
So, and we
Red
know
beans
why.
and rice.
Yeah.
There was that weird online thing that online.
Oh, I don't even count those, like, because that was kind of like a. But they're definitely
Nathan's.
In Nathan's.
Sloppers.
I was just.
Tamales.
2020, yeah. I mean, there was a lot of great contests. Like 2020, for me to go to Coney was unbelievable, because I got the email 3 weeks
had a lot
out.
Of fun that.
Ain't going to happen. You ain't going. Blah blah blah. See you next year. And then I got the phone call 72 hours out, and I'm like, oh yeah, I've been drinking for fucking 3 months, man. Like, normally I quit drinking, train weekly. None of that happened. We got, nice. Only thing that helped me, I think I was training with Laurel the last 3 weeks whenever everyone got notified to go for 2020, and I just showed up. I'm like, I'm just happy to be here, at the table. And unfortunately, I wish I trained through lockdown and pushed myself higher, so I could have popped out on the at the table of 5 people and been more competitive like Nick did. Nick didn't slow down because he was training right along with Mickey, and Nick wasn't going to make the final 2020, but we got we lucked out,
dude.
So it just happened, right? So, but that's what we need to do, keep going. I just saw Molly has,
because actually I think one thing about George and I think
Yeah,
our
good for her,
limiting
man.
factor, one thing that we share in common that is a limiting factor is we love to have a good time.
Oh yeah,
I think that's a limiting factor.
I mean, that's a big thing. I mean, dude, we're gluttons,
We like
right?
to-
I mean,
we like
just
to drink.
like to drink,
And then
like to
after,
eat.
yes, because I mean, at the after party, dude, I ate like fucking like 8 wings and all this other crap. And I was like, oh yeah, have a
Oh,
good
and
time.
tonight, the wings,
But
the sushi
that type
was
of
great.
stuff, like, it's like the little details like put you over the edge, Like when you do that type of stuff, it's fun, but it's gonna set you back on the eating.
Definitely. So, Tom, I'm sorry, I'm losing pace on all your comments. Big fan of Gideon. And Dan oftentimes pops in.
Yeah, Gideon, I love his videos because he does all the bizarre challenges, like eating a coconut. I'm like, who does that?
He does some crazy stuff, man. He's good with the oddities of food. Spam.
100%.
What did you guys
Kale,
do?
kale.
Kale.
Corn, he's really good at corn.
He's awesome with corn, but even you guys did the bologna during the lockdown challenge.
Yeah, he
That
killed
was
that.
cool.
And he killed the there was another one he killed.
And it's all technique, and he found what works for him, and it smokes everybody else, right?
Because I think one thing with Gideon is his physiology. You know, he's a humongous 6'9" guy, and he has a wide throat.
Yeah.
So he can like swallow so much at once. That's what she said. But
watermelons, including the skin, is just crazy.
exactly, that's
Right,
what I'm saying.
Like, who would ever thought to eat the rind,
yeah.
right? Like,
What are your thoughts on Magic Mikey? He seems to have a rash or allergic. I don't know who Ben Dean is, but I think Magic Mikey, he has the okay capacity. Like, he is decent, but there's a difference between like sitting down for 1 hour and eating as much as you can. I think Mikey, if he does more contests and gets used to like eating at a faster, pace, I think he could do okay. I don't see him being like.
I just want to roll the windows down real quick, let some air in here real quick.
But I think with Mikey, I think he could, I think he could place in the money at contests, but.
Yeah, I think Mikey would do good on the circuit, definitely.
I think he'd do all right.
He would show up. He would upset some numbers, some
One
people.
person I will say, because I know people might think I'm an asshole for judging people that aren't MLE, but out of the outside MLE people that would actually do really well in MLE, I think Josh Hansen. Joel Hansen, I think he would do great.
Oh yeah, totally. He would upset some people, show up on the circuit, definitely. If he was willing to come over and eat with us, definitely.
And then Dan
would do the same.
Honestly, I don't know if people would disagree with me, but had he done Nathan's this past year, I think he would have gone second. I think he would have. I think he would have probably done like 53, 54.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, he would totally. He would be in the place. Definitely top 3 eaters, 100%. But like I'm saying, practice, like what I've learned, right? You take practice, whatever your practice numbers are, qualifying for me, I'm like 10 off, right, for qualifying. And then I'm 5 off from my practice to qualifying. And then at the final table, I've been like 10 off from my practice to the final table at Coney. This year's the closest I've ever been. And then I did
I think you did better than your practice this past year, right? Or pretty close.
Yeah, right around my practices. And then I did a bachelorette party
Tell the story, please.
a week later after 4th of July, the following weekend. And I don't know, that was like 38 or something, 37 hot dogs and buns for the ladies, showing them how to eat some hot dogs.
But I might be rare in this, but I actually do I'm pretty close to my practice numbers when I go on stage.
I mean, that's just me though, and that's the way it's been through this whole game, right? Because even when I first started trying to qualify in 2015, my numbers were like 5, 10 hot dogs off from my practices, and because it's hard to cook all the hot dogs the same, to get the same hot dogs across the table. And I think the closest the hot dogs are prepared would be at the final table, at Coney. But, when we're out on the road trying to do qualifiers, you just don't know where you're going to be and where you get hot dogs. I mean, I've had hot dogs boiled. I've had hot dogs smoked. I've had hot dogs, grilled. I've had hot dogs flat top. We get them all different ways at the qualifiers. But they're flat top, very consistent at the final table. So I think you really got to win your qualifier, show up, go to Nathan's, Coney Island, and that's where you really see the eaters, to compare everybody.
Now, this is one thing where George might say, no, you're wrong there, but me personally, I don't think the preparation method makes that much of a difference, because I always boil all my dogs, and I still do, this past
He's just
year,
an animal that way, though. The way he eats is just.
This past year, my best practice run was 45, and I did 44 before the deduction, and I got 43, and right there with practice numbers.
Mm-hmm. So you're consistent. I'm not consistent, and maybe it's a mental thing. I don't know. Excuse me. What's up, bros? Fluffhead.
Hey, what's up, Fluffhead? How's it going, bro?
The mood light. Yeah, well, it's the red light. I'm in the car.
Red light district.
Yeah. It helps. You guys see us a little better. We're not blind. I got the red light because I like to drive and go live, so it works.
I love it.
Definitely works. CRL's out, I guess. Are we? Oh,
Yeah,
gotta run. Oh, the baby's up. Love you, buddy. Daddy duty calls.
Well, here's the thing, Tom, because I just read your comment. When it comes to competitive eating, it's not so much enjoyment. It's just whatever they give you that day, So you have to be prepared. Like, one thing I've learned from my years of competitive eating is the eaters that do well are the ones that are able to adapt and adjust to, like, any given scenario. Like Jeff, for instance. Jeff he's phenomenal. He might be the best when it comes to adapting to foods. I think Joey, he wins because he just has that stupid capacity.
Yeah.
And, because I will say, I think Jeff has better technique than Joey. It's just that Joey is able to afford so much space just pounding everything down.
Boiled hot dogs are good. Don't get me wrong, I like my dirty water dogs from the city and stuff. And
now, if it's casual consumption, I do like me a good,
yeah,
grilled over, like, charcoal.
Oh, you like your barbecue backyard dogs?
Exactly.
Okay.
Those are great. For casual practice, like, who gives a crap? I'm just gonna boil them all for convenience. Zermatt, I think he's a good eater.
I don't. Who's Zermatt?
From Singapore.
Oh, okay.
I think he's a great eater. I think it would take a little bit for him to adjust to the MLE, 10-minute pace. He has great capacity.
You know who showed up on the circuit this year that blew my mind, that, like, I've been nervous for years about? And, we've done food challenges similar. We've done the same food challenges. I beat it. He failed. Corbucci from Brazil. Like,
he has been doing well, though.
Dude, he showed up, and he's an animal. Like he's another one. I think he's going to be another, top dog, in the hot dogs next year.
I can definitely see him doing in the 40s at a minimum. Because Pork, he did really well. I think he set a rookie record.
Oh, he killed Pork Roll, yeah. Totally.
He did a phenomenal job. So, Corbucci, if you're watching this, obrigado.
Excuse me. Do you keep thumping something? You keep kicking something, right? I guess the door. Oh, your knee on the door, maybe?
Sorry.
No, I don't care. I'm just like, is it like the neighbors coming out? Like, I feel bad. Like, we're out in John's driveway at, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Is it 2 already?
Yeah.
Oh, crap. Well, this is a miracle. For me, at
So,
least.
But, it's way past your bedtime probably, right?
I'm usually gone around 11, so.
Well, thank you for hanging out, man. We don't get to do this often.
Yes, I love it. Absolutely.
So,
Corbucci seems very impressive. Yeah, Corbucci, I think he has the capacity for it. He has crazy capacity, and once he refines his competitive eating, he's a force to be reckoned with. Absolutely, I agree with you, Tom.
Definitely. And Bob's a sneaky eater, man. Like, Bob was at the top. He was the #1 eater before Joey. He's been there, done that. And, I do challenges with him, and it's like, yeah, we're going to take our time. And, I'm like watching this guy eat, and it just looks like he's just eating. And the next thing I know, the food's gone. And I'm like,
Bob is deceptive.
You didn't break a sweat. You didn't.
Because he's one of those guys that he's naturally a big eater.
Yeah.
He loves food.
Definitely.
Because most of the time I talk with Bob, it's always about food. It's like some eaters, or most eaters, you can talk about other stuff, life, for hobbies, whatever. But Bob, the man, lives, breathes, and eats. Competitive eating.
Oh yeah.
The man is amazing because he doesn't. I know for a fact he doesn't train, but he can still put down 13 pounds of food casually without training.
Tom, reach out anytime, bro. We appreciate you. I appreciate you coming on my live tonight, talking with us. I want to do a shaved ice challenge next year, 2022. you know, when you're back up and running for the season. I don't know if you have a season. I'm guessing you have a season. You don't sell shaved ice during the winter. I mean, maybe if we could do something this winter, I'll come up and do a shaved ice challenge. But
water dice would be awesome, like a Ritas challenge. That would be dope.
well, it's different though. That's not the shaved ice.
I know, but I love water dice.
No, it's
great.
good. Do you think challenges have more or less?
I have to agree with you about Bob, Tom. He's very impressive. Like he just has natural ability.
Yeah.
Because I know, I honestly think anyone that's closest to Bob is George, because George has natural eating ability. Because this man eats, he eats like.
Who, this guy? This guy?
Yes, this guy. Like the thing is, like, you know, most of like us that like trained to build up our capacity is like on our like non-competitive eating days. Like I might eat a little more than average, but George, yeah, this guy like,
No, dude,
he's like, hey, let's go to Wendy's. I'm like, okay, and then I'm like, oh, could I have like, you know, the value menu, blah blah, and George's like, oh, can I have like, you know, a triple this that? I'm like, this guy eats. He eats.
Dude, I'm not a small man. I need calories to run this body, and I eat. That's what I do. So, competitive eating and challenges have generally more or less over the years.
It depends. Like, I think it's like 2 years ago, it really picked up traction. Now it's kind of like stagnated, I would say.
Well, I think, you know, the
There's
past
a
2
lot of
years really slowed us down. Like, I mean, we had we were, I think it was peaking. And, you know, they say where we're at today with challenges in the United States, Japan was there 20 years ago, right?
Well, Japan, they have the stupid challenges.
Oh, yeah, they just have crazy. I mean, this man's been in Japan. He's done television shows there, and the food he ate over there was like, wow, how can you do that to yourself?
A lot of the Japanese eaters are crazy because
Yeah.
Back in 2019, I did a Japanese contest, and the format was so much different. You know, it's like 1 hour eating contest. Now I somehow managed to pull off the finals. Like I made it all the way to the finals. It was me, Max, and this other lady. That was like one of the most incredible feats I've seen. Like, because the previous record was 30 bowls of ramen. I ate 28, and then this like old lady, like she's like 60 something. She ate 29, and Max did 35. Like that is insane. Because 35 bowls of ramen's gotta be like in the 20-pound carrot.
That's crazy. That's a lot.
Max can eat a lot of
Max
food.
an animal when it comes to eating.
His
like that.
mental fortitude is just next level. And if he could translate that to like the short contest, I think he could be a legitimate Nathan's contender, you know? It's just unfortunately for him, he hasn't figured out the speed aspect of it yet. But once he figures that out, coupled with his capacity, the guy could I think he could eat 60 hot dogs.
So, Randy's an animal too. I mean, he does his 2-a-days.
Well, with Randy, my assessment is, I think he has like pretty decent capacity. But what's impressive about him is he'll go months every single day eating, you know, food challenges. That mental fortitude, because like me personally, I would not want to do a food challenge every single day for like 3 months.
Or two a day for 3 months, and like
that sounds gross. I'm not gonna even lie, that's disgusting.
It's hard. Like, I mean, what I do, you know, eating on the way to the contest and eating on the way home, like, I really don't want to do 2-a-days. I do like 1 a day, and I definitely need the break before the contest. And it's tough, but Randy just goes. So he's very consistent. He's been doing this for years. You know, he has the following.
And he's an amazing businessman. I'll give him that.
He got in and did his thing at the right time. His brand's awesome. I'm trying to, yes, exactly. Yeah, no, Randy's an animal. I know, like, I don't knock Randy. I give Randy a hard time, and it's in jest with, you know.
You gotta get the views.
Yeah,
exactly.
So it's clickbait. I beat Randy, or, you know, whatever. You know, I killed his time, this and that. But, you know, all the respect to Randy. Randy, you know, when I first got into competitive eating, of course, I went to his page. I think we all do. We go to his page, we learn.
Him and
like,
Stoney.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And, you know, you look at things, and Stoney's another great eater. You know, that kid got in, you know, he started
Very early.
max eating before he was 18. As soon as he went, 18, he got an MLE. Definitely, and he's young, and he's not even 30.
Yeah, that's the crazy
Max.
thing.
I mean, yeah, Matt.
So Matt's like, what, 28? Something like that? I think it's the same age as Caroline or something.
Oh, probably. So.
Because most eaters, because most of us are, what, out of the regular contenders, Joey's 38 or something like that. And it's one thing I do say is people think I'm younger than I am, which I appreciate, but I am turning 33, so. I think Stoney, if he really, really wanted to, he could, still compete at the top level. But I don't blame the man. Well, why train that hard when you can, do a 5-pound challenge and make, lots of money? He's one of the eaters I think that truly made it big.
Oh yeah, but he was young and got into the YouTube game at the right time, right? YouTube.
Not only that, but he was
flatting out.
He was really freaking good in his prime.
He was very good, very, very good, and he traveled the world with these guys at 18 years old. He got on MLE and started traveling the world with everybody, all great eaters. When he was 18 years old, and he just grew from there. I think it's awesome. You guys watch him on Twitch. He's a great guy, and he's just. Matt's one of the best people to hang out with and bullshit with and talk with.
That's the thing,
you would never know what he does and how successful he is on YouTube and Twitch in person. You would talk to him and you just think he's just the average kid from Cali.
He's very humble.
Very, very humble.
Even the way he
modest.
looks, because I'll tell y'all guys right now, I know for a fact the man is a millionaire.
Oh yeah, he's killing it, 100%.
But he's very humble. He's
a
nice guy.
He's modest. He's humble.
And he treats us to drinks, so he's a good.
So, I don't want to step over.
For some reason,
Fluffhead here.
This is one of the behind the scenes things, but Stoney, once you get a little bit of liquid in him, he's for some reason when he doesn't have that liquid in him, he's he disregards me. But then once he gets, he's like, Darren, where you at? I'm like, just hanging out, blah blah blah. He's like, come over to the bar, man. Let's hang out. Let's talk, whatever.
Oh yeah, definitely. And that's the biggest thing too. Prior to all these competitions, we travel together, we hang out together. We're competitive at the table, and then we hang out afterwards. The after parties, to hang out, catch up. How's the kids, how's the wife, how's the family, how's the parents, and that's really cool too, because we're down in Louisiana. I was down there a couple weeks ago eating pizza, and Adrian Morgan, I got to see him. I met his father for the first time. Yeah, a legend in this sport. And it was awesome to meet his father, and his father was telling us stories, and everything. It was just great to catch up and meet people and learn, the background and when Adrian and they're traveling the world, with Matt and everybody. It was just really, it's cool to hear all these different stories, in Badlands, man. Everybody, he just chugs stuff. No, dude's a rapper. He's been in this business for over 20 years.
And then the one thing about Badlands and his rapping, because I don't know if y'all know, but music is one of my passions. Badlands, his son produces all the beats, and Badlands actually has really, really good theory knowledge.
Oh,
man, he knows what he's doing when it comes to how to make a well balanced beat.
Oh, definitely. And his kid, okay, hip hop, man, he's killing it. My intro, that's one of his beats for, my Red Horse of Death intro for Coney. That's his kid's beat, put it together. I love it. I was going to play it at the beginning of this, but I put up the wrong phone, and that's the phone that has it on it. So, sorry, guys. I've been playing it on my intros and my outros. It's not going to happen tonight.
Tom brought up a good point about Kobayashi. Have you met Kobayashi before?
I have not met Kobayashi.
I met Kobayashi once. He's actually a really nice guy. And honestly, one thing I wish Joey and Kobayashi could hash it out. Because I think Kobayashi, I think he's a great guy. I mean, I think he has his personal issues, you know, but don't we all? And,
Yeah.
like, I think he's a phenomenal eater that, you know, read into things too much, is what I would say.
You know,
Because he was like, oh, everyone hated him. I was like, no.
No,
He just
I
got
don't
beat
think
by
it was hate,
Joey,
but
you know?
unfortunately, that was. But it's a story, right? Like, they're putting a story together to entertain you guys. We're entertainment, right? So, it might not have been a Joey and Kobayashi thing. It might have been, MLE thing on,
Oh, absolutely.
how the narrative had to change. And let's bring back,
Because that's how it works in sports in general, you know? Like,
yeah, you need the villain, you need the heel, you need the winner. So, like, yeah, I'm the Red Horse of Death now, so I'm going to be the heel. Not that I'm going to come out and dominate, but you're going to see a big change with George's Smorgasbord Chigger here in 2022 for Nathan's in different contests and stuff. And it's just part of the show. It's part of the entertainment. It's part of making it happen. So yeah, why wouldn't you want the American,
that's what they made it.
Boy to kick, Kobayashi's ass. Kobayashi changed the sport.
Yeah, absolutely.
He took the sport from the buffet buster, that could eat 20 plus hot dogs to 50 hot dogs. This little guy from Japan. And, like I said, 20 years ago, Japan's on fire today with capacity.
Not so much the speed.
They're eating, but not their speed. But Kobayashi figured it out how to
translate
it to speed, and he changed the sport. And then, this is what we need to do. And Joey took it and ran with it. We've all have. And we all use techniques that, Kobayashi brought to the table, because you need to be competitive in this business. You need to have that. We're not buffet busters. I'm one of the biggest guys on the circuit anymore. Me and Mike, Badlands, there's not a lot of, buffet busters in the top 20, right? It's true athletes, how they're training, how we're training, how we're doing this. I think I'm kind of like rambling now. Need some oxygen.
Tom, I just read your comment there. I'll agree with you. Joey definitely deserves like the attention he gets, but at the same time, I think there are other phenomenal eaters that deserve like that's much better, publicity. Like Jeff, for instance, he is criminally underrated.
Definitely.
People should be wanting to take pictures with this man because he beats Joe on the regular.
Definitely. I mean, if you get the chance, you need to ask Jeff for a picture. You need to ask Jeff for his autograph.
He's a legend.
He's
a very humble guy.
He deserves more recognition than he gets.
Absolutely, 100%.
100%. And even when Darren beat Joey at cheese curds, it wasn't that Darren Breeden set the new world record of cheese curds. It was Joey Chestnut lost, but still ate blah 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 blah, and then this kid from Virginia beat him, and that was it. Like in some of the articles I read about that contest.
Exactly. Like
unfortunately, and it's a narrative, right? It's the press. They put out what they want to put out, and unfortunately, you mention Joey Chestnut's name, everybody knows it. So that's what they're going to push. Doesn't matter if Joey comes in last or first. Everyone's going to know Joey was at the contest. Joey ate food. They're not going to say, "Oh, George from Pocono Pines, PA, ate this," or Darren from Virginia, or Jeff from, Massachusetts, Oxford. Unfortunately, because nobody knows. I mean, you guys know who we are because you're fans of the sport, right?
But I commend y'all for that.
Thank you. But you drop Joey's name. Oh yeah, I've heard of Joey Jaws Chestnut. Blah blah blah, and. I tell people what I do, and it's still crazy because, they still go back to Kobayashi. Kobayashi has a huge name in this sport. I live on the East Coast.
Even if people don't know the name, they always know that Asian dude.
Is that Asian dude still,
Because here's the thing, a little bit of ignorance, but I remember when I beat Joey at the chili contest, they're like, "Oh, aren't you that Asian guy that beat Joey at hot dogs?" I was like, no.
No, I'm another Asian guy that just beat Joey. Taking a minute, guys. We're reading two screens here. Yeah.
But Tom, I appreciate like how these questions are great. You know, it's not the generic like, well, what is it like after you get a contest, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I can tell you're like a hardcore fan of competitive eating. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you, Tom. I appreciate you coming on my live tonight and talking with us and asking these questions. And you're asking the hard questions and you're asking the right questions.
Absolutely.
100%. So thank you for taking the time and banging it out on the keyboard tonight for us.
Because one thing we will do that might be different from like other eaters, like we will, any question you ask, we'll answer to.
We try. I got nothing to hide. You know, you ask it, I'll tell you. You know.
And I would say, you know, a lot of what we've said is like spot on. Like people might disagree with us from like a statistical standpoint, but like it's different, you know. Like when you're at the table actually competing, like I think I'm not trying to like cheapen like what other people say, but like as a competitor, you know, I think we have a very valid point when we like make these arguments. Like it's like with any other sport, you know, like fucking Skip can say whatever he wants about the NBA, but it doesn't mean anything because the guy probably can't even make a free throw. But like, same thing with competitive eating. We're the competitors, you know, and like sometimes our opinions might be considered controversial, but like,
oh sure,
we know what we're talking about. I mean, I know it sounds a little conceited, but like we're the ones competing at the table, and I think you know I think we're fairly in touch with like what we're capable of.
What's that word?
Genetics.
Absolutely,
100%. Because Fluff had asked, do you think genetics play a role in eating capacity? Absolutely, because you know this man can eat a lot naturally because he's the smorgasbord. He's a 6'6" big guy. I think my natural capacity comes from like, because believe it or not, at one point I was pushing 300, like pretty close to it, and then I lost the weight, and you know, outwardly I was like, oh, this guy's like, you know, pretty average looking, whatever, you know, but my stomach is forever stretched from when I was a big boy. Because here's the thing with me, when I was a big boy, I wasn't so much like a high calorie big boy. I went to the buffet every day and I enjoyed it.
It's a good time, right? Yeah. So
I love my veggies and everything. I just ate massive quantities of everything.
Oh, I love buffets. I've grown. I mean, I grew up. You know, me and my brothers, my parents. Like, I mean, we would go to town and go to the buffets and just eat because like we ate. I remember growing up, like my dad used to bring steaks home all the time, and we went to a steakhouse once. We ordered like 8-ounce steak or a 10-ounce steak, and it's like, what is that? Like I've never ate something that small in my life. Like, and I was just a kid. Like, so I've always eaten large meals. So, you know, genetics definitely plays a part in it. You know, on the women's side of it, you know, I think it has a lot to do with genetics and stuff, and it has a lot to do with, you know, our stretch and everything. And, you know, Molly's had 4 kids. Mickey just had her first kid, and it you know, I knew Mickey came back and dominated after, you know, having her first kid because I knew she would have that extra stretch in the body because her body's stretched already, right? So, you know, that's a huge thing. And then, you know, Darren being a former fat kid,
because that's the one thing I can relate to you with, like a buffet thing, except it was a little different with my family. Like my dad was like a pretty decent eater, you know, like he ate more than average, and we'd always have like you know, on the weekends like, all right, let's go out and eat as a family, and then my dad and I, let's go to Golden Corral, let's go to the Chinese buffet, and then my sister and my mom was like, what, another buffet? I'm like, you get the most bang for your buck and you get to eat whatever you want.
Oh, definitely, you know. So top 5. Oh, and Jeff is a smaller dude, but like, you know, he's a competitor. He's a power lifter. You know, that's
the thing. A lot of these athletes eat so much food.
Because I think they have it's you know, there's a lot of mental. Yeah, you need capacity, but it's mental too, because as you're eating, your body's fighting you, telling you no, stop eating, stop chewing, stop swallowing, and you have to push through all that. And I think that's where Nick Wary is being a bodybuilder, Jeff is, you know, being a power lifter. You know, you hit the wall of like, I need to stop, and they could push past that. They could push through the pain, you know, because with, you know, oh, I need to lose this weight, or I need to pick up, you know, another 5 pounds or whatever. They mentally, they know how to push themselves. I think that's my problem, because you know, I'm the baby of the family. I'm an easygoing guy, and if something sucked, you know, I don't need to do this, you know, or I'll try something different. You know, I know my problem is mental because I have the capacity. But like even when I'm training,
like, this guy can eat.
I could eat. I know I could eat. I could do it, and you know, but
So
like
I'm
to
not
push
kidding,
yourself
every
past
meal
this.
this man eats. Because even when, not even meals, like snacks or drinks, like we'll pull over at like Sonic. Oh, can I get the Route 44 like a humongous size?
I supersize everything, baby. You know, let's biggie it. Yeah. So, but I think that's where the true athletes getting into the sport today blows the buffet eaters away. And I want to say I guess I'm a buffet eater. You know, I'm probably maybe one of the last ones on the circuit because and as I'm eating more, I need to progress. I want to progress. I got
Joyce is right behind me. Oh no, man! I was like, oh shoot.
So that pushed him, and it pushed him to go further. And I was just eating, and I'm like, all right, like I just need to eat. And it would have been great if I got a couple more bowls because it would have just got me that much, you know. I could have beat everybody, but like I said, we're right there. You know, let's see what 2022 brings. I really just need to hunker down and push myself and work on my mental stuff. So I want to work mentally on
But
my
then the
eating.
mental aspect, I think you've gotten really good with the food challenges. Because, I mean, I'll be honest, like, right now, I would say George is a better challenge eater than me. Because, like, the grilled cheese challenge is a testament to that. Because before the challenge, you know, he was like eating all this stuff, like,
I ate all
one,
day.
no
Yeah, I
cake,
ate all day.
and he did like
Yeah.
the
easy cheese.
easy cheese, and he still killed the challenge, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I had breakfast that day, lunch,
And I couldn't
cheese.
do it. I couldn't do the challenge.
Yeah, but I mean, we just came out. You just did 8 pounds of food prior.
True,
You know?
but still, like
I understand
that was really amazing. That and the Southside Six, the first try. I think you had a bigger version. I think you may have had the biggest version of that challenge.
Well, thank you.
honestly.
I feel it was quite
honestly,
large.
Because man, my
that was a
version,
hell
I
of a
would say,
challenge.
was like around 12 pounds, maybe a little more.
Yeah.
Like, give or take. But then George, his version was a legitimate 16 pounds, I would
Yeah,
say.
I mean,
It was-
I'll say 15-ish. You know, you can
not
call it what
16,
you want.
dude.
Like,
16.
you know,
Easy.
I'm not going to knock it. And Mickey showed up and did it on her first attempt after me, and hers could have been around the same size.
I think so, yeah.
You know, maybe a little bigger, but not much. You know, the
The
guy knows what he's
pounds.
doing. You know, it's not a 12-pound challenge anymore, people. So if you guys want to go try it, make sure you could eat,
At a
you know,
top
16
level.
plus pounds. And I push myself. I watched the video actually last night with John and his family, and I'm like, wow, like it's just crazy to eat that amount of food. And I needed it for the paycheck, right? That was 100%. I needed to complete that challenge to make that money that day. And it took every minute of that challenge to do it, and I paid for it, man. It was rough. That was a rough challenge. It beat me up. So,
And to answer your question, Tom, about oysters, if they bring it back next year, it would be around June. And by all means, it's a awesome festival. And you know, it gives me an excuse to go to the Big Easy.
oh, did we mute Tom? We got sound, right? We're good. When is the next oyster? Okay.
June.
Oh yeah. So all right. So you're way ahead of me. Other seafood challenges made.
Burritos are awesome. I love burrito. I don't think I've ever failed. No, actually, I did fail a burrito once. That was because I tried doing 2 a day and I was cocky and I thought I could do it. But that was like back in 2016, something like that.
Chicken wings. Chicken
Ooh,
wings are
chicken
fun.
wings
I
are
love
awesome, yeah.
buffalo chicken wings, man. That's a great contest. I was really surprised because I thought I was killing it this year at Wing Fest, and I can't believe I ate half of what everyone else ate. I was like, what? But Mickey came out and killed it on that, and we'll see what next year brings.
Crazy. I was like,
crazy numbers.
Everyone in the top 5 was doing over 200, and
yeah.
Back in the day, when the last time I did Wing Bowl, or not Wing Bowl, Wing Fest, I remember at 200. If you did over 200, you're gonna win.
Yeah.
Because when I did it, I came in third with like 185, and then Jeff did like 190, and Joey did like a little over 200.
Yeah, just over 200. But now, like, I mean,
now it's like 250. Like all like stupid
it's just
numbers.
crazy numbers this year.
It's scary but exciting at the same time. It's cool to see the sport evolve, but then from my standpoint, I'm like, it's gonna be hard to keep up with everyone. Well, thank you, Tom. I appreciate that, but maybe I think it's not so much like the challenge itself was more impressive than anyone else's version. I think I documented it pretty well. Like the first time, I failed it, and I was like, oh man, maybe I'll do it again. And then I had the lead up to it, and then beat the challenge. But I will be honest, my version was easier than a lot of folks, because I would say mine was around 12 when it was still 12 pounds. But then people, when George, even when Gideon did it, I think it was bigger than what I did.
Oh yeah, and it took Gideon 2 tries to get it done.
I think his version was probably like 14 pounds, and then when I saw George do it, I was like, wow, I don't remember it being that big.
It's a lot of food, man. It's a lot of food, and then like everything in volume is tough. Like I've done a 7-pound lobster roll. I love it. It's great. Like I love lobster rolls. I did a 7-pound lobster roll. I was 2 minutes in. I'm like, oh, I don't need to eat lobster anymore after this. And I still had pounds to eat. And it's the same thing with the Southside 6. They're delicious individually. Like I would stop there if I lived in Bowling Green, Ohio, every day probably to get a gyro and
like souvlaki's, all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, great place. But his tzatziki sauce, it's made fresh. It is
garlicky.
It has so much fresh raw garlic in it. I didn't know garlic could burn like that. And it was crazy because like if you go back and watch Mickey's live stream on that, right away she's like, I didn't think this was a spicy challenge. And I'm like commenting, I'm like, it's fucking garlic. Like, and I love garlic. I did a ramen challenge last night. That's on my YouTube channel. And that was garlic. And, as I'm finishing up the challenge, I'm like, man, maybe I shouldn't have got the garlic, because I love the garlic ramen when I go get it, and it was like, I'm like, that's a lot of garlic. But that tzatziki sauce burns. Like there's so much garlic. I mean, I think it's like half a gallon or more of tzatziki sauce on those 6 gyros. That's a lot of sauce, a lot of cream, a lot of everything. But that garlic is insane.
And this is like a little off topic, on topic, but like, I want to ask you something, George. Like,
okay.
Do you feel that the lighter you are, the more you can eat?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because for me, like, if y'all look at any of my early videos, like, I was like super skinny, like 160, 170. Like, now I'm actually at a better weight, like health wise. I'm 180, 190, something like that right now. But
good for you, man.
I'm like, it is good from a health standpoint, but at the same time, definitely. It's like I've become a worse eater, which sucks.
Oh, what, being lighter? It's worse
heavier.
Heavier. Oh, because you put some more weight.
Yeah, because like when I was really good, I was like I'm embarrassed to say this, I was like in the 160s, 170s.
So 20, 30 pounds. Oh yeah, definitely.
Like now I'm like in 180, 190, like around that range.
Okay.
It fluctuates a lot because of the food challenges.
Oh sure, definitely. But like in 2010, I was 400-ish plus pounds. And like today, I'm probably at like 340, but like going into Nathan's, I'm down to, I think I was at 312, this year going into Nathan's, and it's really, it makes a huge difference, 10, 20 pounds. And even like for everyone out there, like, oh my, if your knees hurt or something hurts, like lose 5 pounds, 10 pounds. I'm like, I know it's not easy, but like lose a couple pounds, you'll feel better. And it definitely helps with the eating. And, maybe next year I could come out, I could be like 195 like you. No, I'm joking. But I would love...
195 at your height would be a kind of...
Oh, my God. I would be like dead. I think I would probably, maybe I could lose a leg or two. And I would weigh that. But, my goal is to get under 300 pounds here. And, like, if I could do that, so, like, if I could lose 40, 50 pounds, the next 6 months, that would be awesome. Like, that would be fantastic for me to take it to the next level for eating. Because it definitely, yes, 100%, it helps to be lighter.
But it's a trade-off, like, at a certain point. Like, for me, like, when I was at, like, 160, 170, I was a great eater, but I felt like garbage all the time,
Oh, sure, definitely. Like, when I first got into just, sparring with Laurel, I was 400 pounds, and I would eat 16, 17 hot dogs. I would go home, and I would be stuck on the couch for 2 days, recouping from the sodium and everything. And, being, almost 100 pounds lighter now, dude, let's go out and drink and let's go out and party. Like, let's, and that's eating 30, 40 hot dogs. Like, it's just a completely different animal being 60, 70 pounds, 80 pounds lighter.
For me, it's been like the opposite. Like, I'm a better eater when I'm like at an unhealthy or a low weight. But then when I'm at a healthier weight for my height, because I'm like 6'1", something like that, like, I'm okay, but then my capacity diminishes significantly. Because that's a trade-off. Is like, what do I not do?
Yes. Thank you, Tom. I hope so too. That's, I'd like to get, under 300 someday. But dude, I tell you what, even getting down to like 310, 315 and that, I am like slim, like, in my opinion. People look at me, they're like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I fucking feel great, man. Like, it's a good thing. But
because I mean, you guys can tell, like, I'm.
But I mean, he's a tall dude. He's, you're not a short man by any means. And it's funny because everybody's shorter than me, right? Because I'm 6'6", except for Gideon. Like, I got to look up at Gideon, and to me, Gideon's like, I'm like, I can't believe how tall he is. But he's only like 2 inches taller than me, or 3. But it's different. So, like, even today I was picking on Darren. I'm like, oh yeah, you're 6 foot, whatever, But he is over 6 feet.
They were like
tall.
joking around, like, 5'8" or whatever.
Yeah, 5'8", 5'11".
It may as well be 5'8" around these guys, because, like,
yeah, because
George 6'6", Derek. He's
6'4", 6'5". Like, but that dude is like, and that's
skinny.
another thing too. Gideon put some weight on, boy. He's getting into.
But even then, he's still like 280, something like that.
Yeah, but he's not 225. Like, I mean, he's like,
he was lanky when I first.
He's very lanky. He was very skinny. But like this year,
right now, like,
he's almost 300 pounds, and it's like, whoa.
But
like,
then the thing is, like, even though he put on the weight, he looks healthy. I think.
Oh yeah, Gideon. I think
good.
he looks more healthy now with the weight on than he does when he's smaller. But like he's young too. Like, I don't think
he's younger than.
He's in the 20s still.
Yeah.
So, Fluffhead, I want to answer that question. Have you the fat belt? So yeah, so the visceral fat on your stomach, 100% correct. You guys know what you're talking about. You're fans of this sport, right? So that it inhibits me from stretching. If I had a 6-pack, I think I could stretch more and easier. So that's where, Jeff, Darren, dude, man.
I used to have a 6-pack, not anymore.
He showed us his. Go check out.
Older videos. Yeah,
the older videos of Darren, and his thumbnail for Joey Juice.
That was not Photoshop.
That's him, bro. Like, I mean, that, and like, I don't know if he has like.
I think we're good.
Yeah, it's just the neighbor. So, like, he has goals to do physical things after competitive eating, which we talked about. Which I don't know if you ever talked about things that you want to do, like the Ninja Warrior shit.
For me right now, like, my next thing I want to do is like a hair scramble race. Which
and he's he's on his motorcycles. Hair scrambles, you need to be fit. You need to be, have that drive, the, all of the, ability to go long distance. If you guys aren't familiar with hair scrambles, you're running through the woods, single track on your motorcycles. You're out on motocross tracks. And it's a long. You're doing laps and laps.
I think
laps.
I want to be in. Like, I know what I'm getting myself into, but at the same time, I think it's gonna be a surprise. Cause, like, I've done plenty of single track in my life, but not against other people. It's a whole different story.
Right. So, and then being on the clock is completely different. Man, I could get in a car and go riding on the 4-wheelers or dirt bikes all day, but to get into the whole shots, you got to race. You're competing against other people. It's timed event. It changes everything. So But this man is an athlete, and he's becoming, more of an athlete every day. And he says all the time, I don't think I should be ranked where I'm ranked. I think he needs to be kicked in the ass and realize he deserves to be where he's at in the, MLE rankings in life. He's a great human, and he wants to go further and be more competitive and continue, kicking ass.
Because I think a lot of that, has to do with like upbringing, which I think I attribute that a lot to my parents, because one thing that I've always remember, and one thing that I would like to carry on at, eventually when I become a father, is my dad always, I remember one thing, like whenever I had like a difficulty doing something, I'm like, Dad, can you help me with this? Or like, I don't know how to do this. He's like, did you look it up? And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, look it up before you ask me. I'm not gonna give you answers. Find out for yourself.
Oh wow!
I think that helps a lot,
Well, that drives you. That gives you the knowledge to learn how to go research something and how you could better yourself and do something.
Exactly. I mean, as a kid, I was like, man, fucking dad, but looking back on it as like an adult, I'm like, wow, I really appreciate that,
Oh sure, definitely. Derek Jacobs, man, he's a tall, slender dude. Like
he's probably like what, 200 pounds? Something like
I don't think he's over 200 pounds, but he is like slender. And like Gideon, when he came on the circuit, he was, he's 6'9", but he was like 225.
Which is very light for that height.
Oh, sure. I mean, and that's like same thing with Derek Jacobs. He's very slender. He's
an athlete. That guy, he does all the Spartan races.
Oh, he's Spartan. He was karate. Like he kills it. I mean, and he pushes himself, and that's mental. Spartan, karate, and that helps. So maybe, I don't know if I need to take up karate. I know I want to do more of yoga, work on my breathing, work on my mental stuff, and
Fun fact about George though, I don't know if he's ever said this like publicly. He used to be a competitive flat track racer with like the 4-wheelers.
Yeah, but I mean, I was 20 years old. I had money, build a machine, like. You
had that tricked out 400EX.
Oh right? Yeah, definitely. And I was competitive. I was winning races. I was finishing in the top 3. Like, I was very competitive with racing. I ran out of money, so I had to get out of it because it's expensive. But that drives you. And and I was smaller then. I graduated high school at 3:30, so I'm not that far off from it because I'm a little heavy today because I ate 7 pounds of shrimp. But in my early 20s, I'm climbing, little background. I used to work on high voltage power lines, the big towers, linemen, right? So, I mean, I was climbing, 10 structures a day, 100 plus feet, 100 foot poles to 700 foot towers. So, I was very active. And same thing, today, 2018, 2019, I'm working at a ski resort, hiking up and down mountains, do 12, it doesn't sound like a lot, 10, 12 miles a day up and down a mountain, but I'm going up a couple thousand feet in elevation from the base of the mountain to the top, out in weather, shitty stuff. And it just, everyone's like, don't you work out? Like, what do you do? No, I fucking work. I go to work and I physically work. And to run my body, I need 5,000 to 6,000 calories, 8,000 calories a day intake just to run my body. So if I'm eating right, and if this is for everybody, if you guys eat right and eat the right amount of calories, and it's tough, it could be off just by a couple hundred calories, your body is going to store it or it's going to burn it, right? So if you find what works for you, if you could burn it and speed up your metabolism, because like, and you got to cut out the junk, the alcohol, the sodas, the sugars, all that stuff. But
which is the hard part.
It is very hard. But I'm very like going like 2018, 2019. I quit drinking April. April 1st. March 31st is the last time I have a drink. April 1st, no drinking. Sodas, alcohol, except after parties, right? But I'll lose 20, 25 pounds in the month of April just by quit drinking booze, alcohol, beer, all that stuff. And I love my beer. And then hot dog season, me and Lorel, we're out there weekly eating hot dogs. 2018, 2019, I was averaging like 500-600 hot dogs in 3 months, and I'm still losing another 5-10 pounds because my metabolism is kicked up into the next, level, that because I'm just not sitting home. I'm not eating like, 500 calories or 1,000 calories. I'm eating thousands of calories. I'm burning it off because I'm active. I'm out there doing stuff. I wish I had the drive to go to the gym and hang out in the gym. I don't do it. I just can't. I've done it. I tried it. I don't like it. I just, let me go walk 10, 12 miles up and down a mountain. Let me go climb, 10 structures. Let me go do this. Let me go do that.
Which I think,
I
think it might be even more than like a gym session,
Oh yeah, I mean, go to work. I mean, definitely. Well, cardio. My AKA cardio is trying to bang it out every day with your partner. You find somebody that you're good with. No, I mean, that is the best cardio. When I was at the lightest and the fittest and the best, it was like 2-3 times a day cardio sessions, and that's what I highly recommend for every one of you. And especially if you're married, talk to your wife, say, hey, I need to lose some weight, let's get on this, it'll help us both out, or your husband or your partner, or I don't know if you guys like whatever you guys are into. So
that I wouldn't know because I'm a virgin.
Oh, you're waiting for marriage next year? Oh, you got something good to look forward to. You'll be surprised on your honeymoon.
Ooh.
Yeah, I got something to look forward to.
But
So, don't mind us, guys.
One other thing about George, he won't say a lot. This man is a Renaissance man. He's very skilled when it comes with his hands. Like, no, that's not what I meant. That's not what I said. No, because I'm like before, he did he would build decks, he would do home renovations, everything.
Oh yeah, I mean, property maintenance management business. I have rental properties. I'm handy. Unfortunately, if you guys notice with my text, sometimes it seems like I'm a bot because my reading and writing ain't the best. I've struggled with that most of my life, but you have to overcome and do other things to to get through life, right? So I knew at a young age, I have problems with my feet, and the doctor's like, yeah, kid, stay in school, get a desk job. Nope, did not happen. I was right out in the real world beating the shit out of myself because I need to work with my hands. I have to use my mind. I can read a set of blueprints, upside down and backwards better than I can read any, book in my life. And write anything. I wish I could write, and as much as I need to, especially in this business, to communicate with you guys and to get all that out there, because there's things on my webpage I need to update, and I'm like, I need to sit down and write this and do this, and so thank you for noticing that. Yeah, I'm very handy, and I don't know, it's just life. That's just part of what I've had to do. I mean, I've been working since I've been a kid. Tom, we were talking about mowing lawns and having a snow cone stand, before I was, 10 years old. And then, I've worked my whole life. That's what I've done. And this is where I'm at. And this is what I want to do now, because I have been working for so long. I want to get to, to make this my full-time gig and entertain you guys and talk with you guys and interact and travel the world doing this. My goal is to get a motorhome and get this guy in the motorhome, and let's travel the country, do food challenges,
awesome, man. And
go meet you guys in person. Let's go hit this and do that. And I'm a road warrior, man. I get in my car, this guy, it's not old, it's 3 years old now. I got 84,000 miles on my car. If it wasn't for COVID, shutting us down, I guarantee I'd be 100,000+ miles, on my car. So, I hit the road, I do 3,000 miles in less than a week. And, sometimes when we went down to the Super Bowl, it was, what was it? It was 9 days, 3,000 miles, 12 food challenges and competition, one competition. So, and, I know my YouTube page doesn't reflect that, but I have tons of footage in the cloud that needs to get edited. I need to sit down and learn how to edit better. Ben does an awesome job. I love that man to death for everything he's done for my YouTube channel and supporting me in this, venture. And I appreciate Darren because he's very helpful too. And it's funny because he was on me forever. You got to get the, SS6 out there. You got to get that done. You got to get that out there so people can see it. And I gave him the footage, and he edited it, and I love it. It was great to watch that footage. I was like, man, this is just awesome. Should have been out there a long time ago. And I have a lot of footage like that needs to get edited and out to you guys, because I've done some crazy shit over the last couple of years, you know, since I got into this whole business. And even I got footage from 2018 when I was a rookie. It would be awesome to get that out there as a throwback Thursday, you know, option for you guys to watch.
We got a good question here from Fluffhead. What are your guilty pleasure foods? Because we definitely have the. For me, Takis. I eat Takis like no other.
What's Takis?
It's like spicy, like Mexican, like chips.
The
so good.
Taki. We went to Walmart the other night and you got those.
Yeah.
When I was down at the
Takis.
house, we did a Walmart run. He likes his Takis. I'm trying to think.
I like Takis. I guess I can't say it's a guilty food because I don't eat as much, but I love barbecue, dude. It's so good.
I do a lot of barbecue challenges. Man.
I think for George, I think it would be Wendy's.
That's just a staple. I just live on Wendy's. Lupita likes the nuggets. I got her nuggets.
He is a good dog father.
Well, thank you. You know, I got no children. I got the dog. Man, I don't know. I'm a Robin's good, and a pho guy, but like, I mean, I'm a sushi guy, but like sweets, like, because I shouldn't be eating sweets. And I tell you what, you know, I had them in Texas the other day, but it's, you know, like the frozen, I don't even know what they're called, so we're going to skip that. But sweets, I guess sweets is like, because I shouldn't be eating sweets, you know. I try not to eat the sweets, and
that is one thing I'm not a huge sweets person, but oh my gosh, when it comes to potato chips or like freaking like meats, I will indulge.
And you know, with my weight loss, like getting rid of the snacks, like I'm not a big snack guy. Like I don't have the chips in the house, I don't have the cookies in the house, but I'll have the edamame. Like I love a good
edamame with some beer.
Edamame, good seasoned salt on it, or even a bag of baby carrots. I love sitting down watching a movie, eating a bag of baby carrots.
And with a little bit of like, you know, blue cheese or something.
No, I'll just eat them raw.
Really?
Like, yeah, you know, because that's what the calories are in the blue cheese and the ranch and stuff. That's no good for you. By the way, if you're looking for something to dip your carrots in, check out the chicken dipper.
Yes.
So, another great sponsor.
I can come fidelly. That's great, Tom. That's a good comment. I can come fidelly. I like that. All the power to you. No, Tom, I'm right there with you. I love savory foods. You know, like the flavorful meats, you know, like Mexican carnitas, like barbacoa. I love, you know, savory, like barbecue from all nations. Brazilian barbecue, amazing.
I love Brazil. You know, I'm a meat guy, right? So I love steak. And, you know, this is like, if someone makes me a steak and they bring out like, oh, here's A1 sauce or barbecue sauce, or I'm like, what are you doing? Like, I want to eat that steak the way you prepared it. It should just be salt and pepper on it, more or less. Or you marinate. I like a good marinated steak. But even sushi, like, I know you're supposed to, you know, do your, you know, wasabi and your soy sauce and all that, because that adds flavor to the sushi or the sashimi. But like, I'll sit down and I don't want any of that on it, because I want to taste the flavor of the fish. I want to taste the flavor of the food I'm eating. So how the chef prepares, you know, 99% of my food is how I'm going to eat it, because that's the way the chef wants it prepared, right? I'm not going to add all the sauces or the, you know, junk to it. So, you know, and for years, I mean, maybe steak's a guilty pleasure of mine, because I grew up, I'm a, you know, good old boy, and it's like we had steak all the time. And, you know, my brother used to be like, oh, you're coming over to the house tonight, you know, we're going to have steak. You know, what veggie do you want? I'm like, steak.
We totally have to do a steak challenge tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
I'm craving steak, so, dude. Like,
you know, I do enjoy a good steak, man. A good prime rib, a good, you know, T-bone, whatever. Like, you know, good steak prepared the right way. I'm all
like
about
George
it.
said, I think it has a lot to do with upbringing. Because I know with me, like, not so much my mom, she wasn't a big carnivore, but like my dad, he loves steak. So like, we go to a local restaurant called the Inwood restaurant, and they would have these 18-ounce steaks, which aren't crazy at all by competitive eating standards, but a normal.
That's a
consumption
big
standards,
steak for normal.
But like as a
consumption,
high
yeah.
school kid, I would eat that completely, and my dad would eat it like no problem. And like we'd bring some friends along, and they're like, "Oh, can I get a box, please?" You know, steaks are amazing, yeah. And like I agree with George. I think a well prepared steak, you shouldn't need any type of sauce. You know, you should just be able to eat it. Although there's one thing that I do like, when we eventually go to Japan together, right?
Yes.
Japanese steaks are like underratedly good, and they do this thing where they serve it on like a skillet, and then
So
like
it's
they
like
put
cooking
butter
in front of you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they put butter on it, which sounds weird, like what, butter on a steak, but it's
Oh,
really
no, butter,
good.
Butter deserves on a steak. That's how it should be plated, 100%. That's awesome. So you're going to take me to some steakhouses in Japan?
Absolutely, dude. You can make some money from these places, because I know there's the one. I think if you eat like, I want to say it's like around 7 pounds of steak and like a pound of sides, so maybe a pound total. In under 20 minutes, you get like $200.
That's like lunch.
Exactly.
That's like lunch, baby. We could go there for breakfast.
The akebono steak.
Very, very cool.
Tom, to answer your question about like the savory foods and not being, it depends. Like me, I love savory foods. We're on the same page, and I think a lot of it has to do with like your cultural background. You know, I'm not sure like what your cultural background is or anything. A lot of it has to do with what you were raised eating. And
Oh, definitely, yeah. I mean, I ate a lot of pork growing up, like pork chops. My old man liked pork chops. I'm a big pork tenderloin guy. I love like butterflying that up, and
pork ribs.
Pork ribs are good
Country-style
too.
ribs, I love
But like,
country style ribs. Oh my god.
I could eat tenderloin all day long. Shake and bake it, or just fry it up in the frying pan real quick. Not a lot of people do this. I mean, I used to do it. Maybe it's not the right. I love cooking on the grill, so I used to shake and bake my tenderloins, and I take it out and cook it up on the grill, like nice little steaks. It's yummy. It's fresh. It's great.
I agree, because my father, he had this like little rotisserie, like battery operated like rotisserie thing that he would like stick on the grill. Ooh, he let it sit for like half the day, and then
Yo, it's good stuff, man. Like, I'm getting
'Cause my
hungry for
pops,
a challenge today.
yeah, absolutely.
But even like Tom, you're saying like sea salt. I'm a huge. That's what I use, sea salt. That's what I go to is sea salt. And pepper, fresh cracked pepper, is definitely go to. In Chicago, my friends told us eat till you puke. Right? Am I reading that right?
Wait, what's that?
When he was 12, told us to eat.
Growing up in Chicago, my friends and dad told us to eat till you puke. Like, I don't know if my dad went to that extreme. He's like, but we just like going to buffets. Like,
Definitely eat till we were, full. Like, don't like overgorge or whatever. I mean, but like
one time I
always
had
just
done that though. Like,
lunch.
I remember when I was this is the only time my dad beat me. When I was a 16-year-old kid, my dad and I went to a sushi buffet. And we're like, let's see who can eat more sushi. My dad ate like 80-some pieces. Pretty impressive for like, middle-aged dude at the time. I ate like 70-something, and then I threw up afterwards because it was too much.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I never ate till I puked, but I mean, it wasn't Thanksgiving, but I would eat. But I've always just had a large capacity. I've always ate 2 meals. When I was a kid, like, I'm big now, but I mean, I was a little kid. I was premature. And growing up, I was a big kid, and I would order off the kids menu 2 meals. And then when I grew up, it's like, oh, what do we have? Okay, pizza. Well, give me a pizza, and then I'll have half your pizza, or, And then when I wanted to start trying to lose weight, I'm like, oh, I got to cut out the French fries. Give me 2 burgers, and do this and do this and do that. And like I eat 2 of everything. I order 2. So like Darren's like, a triple. I could order 2 triples, all day long. I remember we would hit McDonald's to go to high school, like in the morning, and I would drop $20-25 on McDonald's 30 years ago on breakfast, hash browns, 6, Egg McMuffins, all this shit, because that's what I would do. I would just eat all, just eat. And then it's like, okay,
And
well, I got
can
lunch.
verify this is true. This
Yeah,
is
I mean,
absolutely true.
Yeah, I don't go and just, oh, give me like a Dave single.
Because another thing that stands out to
I'm
me,
like, I want 6 Dave singles.
like at the hotel they put us up at in Coney Island, they have like a breakfast buffet thing, and George is there first thing and just piling up the plates. Yeah.
Food is good.
Yes. I want to use the restroom real quick.
Yeah. I'm definitely, I'm the next. But I don't want to get out of here. We got a good crowd, got a lot of thumbs up. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with us. I can't believe it's almost 3 o'clock in the morning now. We're just cruising along, bullshitting and getting that, talking with you guys. So it's really great, to be on here tonight with you guys. I'm glad that we made this call. We're going to go sit on John's deck and smoke a cigar or something. I'm like, oh, let's get in the car and do a live and smoke a cigar and interact with you guys. So I'm really glad that we did this night, and I'm glad that Darren is here and we're able to do this. And I appreciate Tom, man, like your questions, Fluffhead, you guys are, the comments are great. I can't thank you guys enough for all this. So let's do that. And chop sandwich was the usual dish, but okay, chops, very good. I like that. Yeah, the chops are good. I miss a good old bro down. Well, yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate you. I think when he comes back out, I think we got to wrap it up at 3 o'clock because we're going to get up and do some food challenges. So, but it's just been a great night, and a great trip. And I'm like I always say, I'm going to try to go live. I wanted to go live coming out, driving out, but I was just off. I've been off the last couple of days and coming out to the challenge. So when I drove out the other day, I think I went live for a little bit on one of my platforms, and, I definitely want to go live more. I want to interact with you guys more. I do, chiggereats.com. We're going to put a live calendar out there, and I'll start posting places where I'm going to be, towns, areas, challenges, trying to give you guys heads up because I'm really bad about reaching out because everyone's like, oh, when you're in the area, I'm like, how many people tell me that when I'm in the area? So
it's hard to keep track of,
Yeah, it's very hard. I'm actually like now with the food challenges and the people in the area, like I'm putting notes on my Google Maps, like, oh, I got to call Tom when I'm in Massachusetts because I want to do the shave ice challenge and blah, blah, blah. So, and my logistics too, when I jump in the car and go, like, I go and then I'm like, oh, let me make a right here to go do this food challenge. Oh, that place isn't okay. So let me drive another 100 miles. I can do this food challenge over here. And I just hit stuff. I do things on the whim, like driving to Louisiana. Like I had no idea where I was staying on the way down or on the way home. I just drove. I reached out to, friends. And it's like, this is where I'm staying. Okay, tonight. And it's like, I'm not going to go back north, back through Tennessee. Let's go through Georgia, hit the East Coast, go to North Carolina. It's like I'm on the fly, all the time.
This man right here is the Mad Max of MLE, like the road warrior.
So I was just saying it's almost 3 o'clock, so we're going to wrap it up at 3.
Mm-hmm.
It's 15 minutes out. Everyone's making great comments, thanking us for coming on. I'm thanking them for coming on.
It's a miracle I'm still up.
I follow. Oh, Insta. It's George Chigger. George.Chigger on Instagram. I feel bad, guys. I restarted it last year. I had an issue with it. Lost a lot of stuff. I think I was like 4,000 people on it, and now like I'm regrowing it. So Tom, you come over, follow me on Insta. George.Chigger. If you go to chiggereats.com, that'll take you to all my social media except my TikTok, which is George Chigger. So you pretty much can find me anywhere at George Chigger. I appreciate you. I got that Twitter shit because I hang out with a bunch of comedians and they love just beating the hell out of each other on Twitter. TikTok's really, was like I kind of been slacking, but that's one of my fastest growing platforms.
That is true. That's one thing I need to do.
Thank you, Tom. Yeah, Darren could get on Twitter. I think.
TikTok.
TikTok. It would definitely help him.
But I didn't even really know it was a thing until Caroline. It's just like, you need to TikTok. I was like,
Yeah, definitely.
What is a TikTok? You know.
So, and especially your personality, I think it would you blow up on TikTok. I mean, Badlands is killing it on TikTok. 3
gives them
3 million
everything,
plus
though.
followers. 3 million plus
He's
followers.
such a likable personality, you know.
So, good night, gentlemen. Tom, good night, buddy. Thank you so much. I appreciate the follows. I appreciate you coming on tonight, hanging out with us. Great questions, Tom. So, and dude, I'm serious, man. Like, I would love to do like pounds of shaved ice challenge. I love cold challenges, ice cream challenges, milkshake challenges. So, and to be able to do a true shaved ice on a hot summer day, that would be great. So if we could figure that out for next year, that would be great. Get Jeff involved, or do something with Jeff, and I'll come up and do it. It would
Jeff, it's always fun doing challenges with him.
He's
it's
just
so much fun to watch. I'm like, wow, this guy is an animal.
Yeah, I love watching Jeff's challenges. How he sits down at his dining room table and just.
I would say
kills it.
he's definitely one of the most well-rounded eaters. He's a phenomenal challenge eater and a phenomenal contest eater.
Definitely. And like Jeff stresses to me too, I don't know if he's still watching or not, but about, it doesn't food challenges doesn't help you with the competitive, speed eating. It helps you with capacity, but and if anything, it could maybe, what's the word I'm about? Retard your speed or slow down your speed, because you get used to doing the food challenges or your home challenges. And Heavy D, Las Vegas Heavy D, if you guys don't watch him, check out his channel, because he does food challenges at the house, and he lives in Vegas. And you would think Vegas is like the place to go to do food challenges. I don't like to pay to eat food challenges. I like to get paid to eat, winning something, win some money and get a t-shirt, stuff like that, free meal. But when I was out there for 7 days. I did some comedian stuff for 4 or 5 days, drank a lot, had a great time. But then me and Heavy D, we did home challenges, and they're fun. They were fun, and I had a great time. I did one food challenge when I was out there in a restaurant, and that was it. We hit a buffet one night, and I'm like, oh, this isn't anything special, it was a nice buffet, but I'm like, our casinos back home have nice buffets too. So, it wasn't crazy. I tried to go live, but we couldn't get signal, blah, 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 all that stuff. So I took some pictures. It's on TikTok and, my Instagram or whatever. Oh, we got Michelle's in the house.
What's up, man? How's it going?
Oh, Michael, I'm sorry.
Mitchell?
Mitchell. There we go. He just jumped in. Dude, we're going to wrap it up here soon, but, thank you for coming on. Fana from Canada, another Canadian in the house. You're on Badlands Chugs. So, yes, thank you. Me and Badlands go back to 2015 when I first got into competing, and, huge, man, he's awesome. You guys check, chickereats.com. He's one of my sponsors on my webpage. That man has done so much for me since I got into this business.
He's a sponsor too, right?
What's that?
He's a sponsor too.
On my page. Oh yeah. Badlands is a sponsor of mine. Definitely. His merch, Badlands Chugs merch. What's the question? How did you get the name of the smorgasbord? Question: can I get a shout out to Josh Paxson?
You're kind of like Kevin Paxson from the Chicago Bulls.
Yeah, I don't know. So what? So you want
shout
me
out to Josh Paxson?
Josh Paxson, George's Smorgasbord Chigger here.
But how did you get the name of the Smorgasbord?
How did I get the name the Smorgasbord? Right. So, like I said, I've been doing this since 2010, training with Laurel, all this stuff, and then 2015 when I first started to try to qualify to go to Coney Island, I was like, oh, I need a nickname, blah blah blah. And my one buddy came at me. He's like, George the Mustard Chigger. And I'm like, yeah, it's cool, but I'm more than hot dogs, right? You go to my webpage, there's hot dogs on my webpage. I don't like it. The designers came up with that. We're going to change that. But, hot dogs isn't everything, but it's a big part of what I do. Nathan's famous hot dog eating contest, blah, blah, blah. But, So we're going back and forth. I'm talking to my friends and stuff, and my one buddy, he's like, "Yo, man, you eat everything, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "The smorgasbord, right? That's the smorgasbord. It's a buffet. You're eating everything." So that's, someone called me, "Oh, you're the smorgasbord," and it just stuck. But now, MLE's coming out. I'm the Red Horse of Death. George Shea. When the man gives you a storyline to go with, I'm going to run with that, and you're definitely going to see, AKA the Red Horse of Death. And I was kind of bummed about it. He's like, the smorgasbord. I've been building that brand, for years now, and Badlands said it. He's like, you could have more than one alias. You could be, so, George's Smorgasbord Chigger, aka the Red Horse of Death, right? So, definitely great question. Thanks for asking, Mitchell. I really appreciate you coming on. Josh, like, share, and subscribe, bro. Go to chiggereats.com. Go follow me on my other platforms. You guys are smoking
Loud. What is smoking loud?
I don't know. What's smoking loud? I don't know what that is. Looks dark. I dig the story. Thank you. Yeah. So we're in a car at our buddy's house. It's 3 o'clock here almost, and
Having a good time.
yeah, having a great time. So, and the red light's just easier on our eyes. I could definitely, it just something. I went red because I go live a lot, Mitchell, driving, and I've done it with my interior lights on, and it's hard to drive and see and all that stuff. So with the red light, it's a lot easier on the eyes, and it's something that I've adapted here in the last few months.
I got a funny question here. Who's gonna be Big Spoon and who's gonna be Little Spoon? We'll leave that up to your imagination, man.
That's too funny.
For the record, I am here with C Money.
Oh yeah, C Money's in the house. So not that would, I don't know.
Not that what?
We have a C Money sandwich.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh.
And for the record, I like being Little Spoon at times. I won't deny that.
Yeah,
for the ladies
times,
out there, yeah, I like being the Little Spoon.
I wonder how that would work though. Like,
What do you mean?
Well, because you're 6'6", and most women, like, I'm guessing, like, average height is like what, like 5'5", something like that.
Yeah, but I mean, or 4'11"-ish. That it just jump on, cuddle up. I don't know, like ooh, what are you? Oh, he's up. Daddy's up. Look at him. I'm a Little Spoon guy too.
What's up, Double A Ron? How's it going?
Definitely, it's good to be a Little Spoon. I like when a woman, cresses up on you and rubs the body. Like it's a good time. Definitely. So, Aaron. Oh, now I know.
Leo's a cutie, man. Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous.
Guys.
And we got
nice.
I got to see Max for the first time today. He's a cutie.
Oh yeah, Max is cool. Yeah, so definitely. Sorry we woke the kid up. My subs are huge fans. Oh, thanks, Mitchell. Dude, totally. I have to follow you back and check out your stuff, and I appreciate your subs, and it's what it's all about, right? Like Darren helped me, and Bob Shout. I love collabing with Bob Shout. Bob Shout has done so much for my YouTube channel. Collabing with him, 400 or 500 people every time I've collabed with him, and it got me over my 1,000 mark, so I could go live, because I don't have internet at the house because I live in the woods, and I travel so much. And Darren, going live on his page and his subs, got me a lot of you guys to my page, and I appreciate you. You guys stuck out, hung out.
Thank you.
And so thank you for all your support. And if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be doing this, and I couldn't be doing this. So I appreciate you.
And that's one thing I like to think. We're such a niche community, competitive eating, and there's only a select amount. Why not help each other out? Because I think it's for the better of the of the sport. Just like to bring each other up, and because I know the old school mentality is like, oh, keep to yourself. Don't share. I'm all about promoting growth and like.
You guys want to know
Because I
how
know
to
John was
do what
asking
I
me,
do?
he's like, "What are your secrets?" I was like, "I don't really have secrets.
There's
I'll
no
tell you whatever
secret,
I
yeah.
want, man."
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, my biggest thing is I can lead the horse to water, but I can't make it drink, right? So I can tell you, in like training, it is not fun. It is, to do what we do, it is, it's training. You got to put time in. You got to, beat your body up. It's not easy on you mentally, physically, anything. Like anything, you want to do something, you want to learn how to go hit a golf ball the right way. Man, that shit ain't easy either, right? So it's just like anything. You got to push yourself. You got to, you can read the books, you can watch the YouTube videos, you could ask us the questions on any sport. But if you don't put the time and energy into to get to the next level, you're not going to do it. And I know what I need to do to take it to the next level, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to continue to push. I'm going to put this fucking 2020 bullshit behind us and get to where I need to go, because this is what I want in my life now. I don't want to climb 100-foot poles and 700-foot towers and hike up and down mountains anymore. Like, I want to travel the world eating food and bringing content to you guys and just enjoy life, because, man, I'm living my best life, and I've had some great times since I got into competitive eating. And not that I had a shitty life before this, but it's just a different world. And I did a Louisiana road trip. In 7 days, I stayed with 5 different people, friends across the country, all different peoples, all different walks of life. Homes are different, cars are different, everything's different. And it's like, and I had a friend with me, and she's like, this is crazy. Like, I how do you know all these different people? And it's like, from food. And and so different. You just don't know who you're talking to, who you're sitting next to. Today at the after party, we're talking to people, and you don't know, if it's just the average guy that was, walking through the party because he had to change the light bulb in the back room or something, or, it was the next, millionaire or billionaire, that had something great and sold their product, and now they're millionaire or billionaire. Like, it's just crazy, the people I've met over the years. But we all have something in common.
Exactly.
Food, life, human beings, treat people the right way. Like, it's just great. And it's like talking to you guys. I mean, we have all walks of life here, in these comments. And, I never thought we would be friends, get to know each other, but food brought us together.
Exactly.
And we have a lot of other stuff in common in life, which is awesome, because it just makes our friendship great. And like, we clicked right from the get-go. He would fly somewhere, I would pick him up at the airport. And, because I drive there, and, I'm usually the driver. Like, I got a small little Jeep.
He's a great driver.
I've had 7 people in this guy going to, food challenges and stuff.
And the poutine,
yeah,
the clown car.
Yeah, the clown car. So that's the biggest thing. It's all about, just living your best life. And it's crazy that food brings people together. But like cigars, right? I'm big into cigars now, and everybody not everybody, but like people like cigars. So cigars and food, food and comedy. I'm doing a lot of comedians, and it's like, I never thought I would be in the comedian world, and maybe one day I'll be on stage doing stand-up. Who knows, right? So it's really a great time, meeting all the people, doing so many different things. And, with my background, I'm well-rounded, and it just hustling, getting it done, living my best life, because you don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. So just get out there and enjoy it. If you want a family, fucking bang it out and start a family, and, get it done to enjoy it, because you don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. You want a dog, go buy a dog. You want a cat, go get a cat. Like, whatever's your thing.
Just do it.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing.
I agree. Right, and we should all help each other. I agree with you on that, Tom. And that's like the best thing, because there is a lot of support. Joey gives me tips all the time. I love sitting down talking to Joey. It's short, it's sweet. He busts my balls, but in the same token, he's given me a lot of tips, and I've progressed in the sport because of him. I read articles, Joey does this, he tries that. And, and talking to Joey, hey, what do you think about this? And you know, I'll be honest with you, 2020, you know, we're sitting in the green room before the contest, and I'm like, man, I'd like to try this. He's like, why don't you just try it? If it doesn't work, change it. And so I tried something the first minute of the contest. It wasn't working for me. I changed it up, and I sped up after the first minute. I'm like, okay, you can watch it. My numbers were really low in the first minute, and I should have exploded because first couple minutes I could eat a lot of hot dogs and buns. But I tried something different. I thought it would work faster. Even today with shrimp, I did something different. I didn't practice with it. And, I've been doing that. Like even I did it in pork roll too. I did something different. I didn't like how pork roll turned out. I like how shrimp turned out. It was good. The technique I was using. And I gotta fine tune it. I gotta work on it. So I don't know if we're losing some questions here. I apologize if we skipped anybody or missed anybody. And it never fails, right? It's 3 o'clock. I kind of want to get off, but we got a lot of people here. I got a lot of thumbs up. So guys, keep asking questions. I'm not tired. You guys got me pumped up. We've been out here for a while talking with you. So Aaron's gone. Good night. Morning, Tom. Appreciate you all. Have a pass out. Good night, everyone. All right, there. Yeah, so I guess we're going to get out of here.
Yeah.
It's 3 o'clock.
But once again, thank you, George, for having me on the stream. I had a lot of fun, I mean, that's the one thing I think.
Thank you, man.
We might not have the biggest channels, but I think we definitely have genuine channels. I think
I'm real. Like I'm going to tell you how it is.
What you guys see on YouTube is us
this
in
is
real life,
us.
basically.
Yeah. Just living our best lives, trying to get it done. Like, and that's and I'm not saying everyone's fake on YouTube or whatever, but the's
a considerable amount.
Yeah, I mean, dude,
there's a certain degree of fakeness. I agree.
And yeah, or it's a act or a show. So like the Red Horse of Death is not me. Like if you guys saw my intro for Coney Island this year, a lot of fans hated it because that's not me. Why weren't you smiling? You should have been smiling. Man, it killed me to walk past my fans yelling my name, trying to give me high fives or fist pumps or whatever as I walking out to the stage. But if you guys watch it, it's on YouTube. I'm just cold stone walking out, and that's what I was told to do. The man doing my intro, spitting those lyrics, he's like, yo, no smiles, don't look at anybody, just walk out cold. And I'm like, all right, and I did it. And let me tell you, we got a lot coming next year for you guys with the Red Horse of Death. And, it's not the smorgasbord, it's the Red Horse of Death. Because this is the smorgasbord. This is, George Chigger, this is who I am. I'm not cold, I'm not, the Red Horse of Death. But if they want to make me the heel, if you're writing the story, I'll do it, because why not? You have one of the best MCs in the world, if not the best, writing, your intro, and he's like, this is what you need to do. Okay, man. Because I know it's my #1 show that I want to watch, prior to being a part of it. Now I'm part of it. So, it's dreams coming true. So, much love from Canada. Much love. Not tired. Good. You guys hold my baby to sleep. Sleeping boss. You can't load a death but you can't force him to drink it. Too funny. You guys are the best. So I wish I could play my outro that I normally play, but I don't have that. It's on the phone that we're live on. So thank you guys. I appreciate you all for tuning in. Love all the thumbs up. Like, share, subscribe. I need a shout out to Biagio's Pizza in the Lehigh Valley, Cedar Crest, North Cedar Crest Boulevard for making this happen and get out here. But all my sponsors, Caddy Corner, Protocol, Enter.net, Bada Boom Fireworks, the Chicken Dipper. You guys wait till you see that come out because we're going to take over the world with the Chicken Dipper. It is badass. And yeah, so thank you. Thank you for the follows. You guys got any questions, comments, concerns? Please don't be afraid to DM me. I try to respond to everybody all the time. Sometimes it's not in the most quick fashion, but I will get back to you 100%. So I appreciate you guys all. Turn on Snapchat.
Super chat.
Oh, super chat. I'm not monetized yet. I can't turn it on. I gotta be. Don't you have to be monetized to get super chat?
I believe so.
Yeah. Aaron,
So tell
yeah.
your friends.
Yeah. So he likes super chat, but I like Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal. So because like I don't know, I'm almost at 2,000 followers, but I don't have the watch time, right? So I'm not monetized on YouTube. I know if you guys watch my videos, my sponsors are paying me. They're hooking me up because my videos are sponsored by individual sponsors, not through YouTube. I'm not monetized. I want to turn super chat on because I've been on here for almost 2 hours and we could have killed it tonight, you know. Over 2 hours, right? That's 139 minutes, or is that 1 hour and 39 minutes?
1 hour, 39
All
minutes.
right, so
over 2 hours.
Almost 2 hours. So it's, you know, yeah, sorry. I would love to do that, but if you guys feel the need to send me something, you know, George Chigger, you know, you guys, you'll find me on all the platforms to digitally send me money. And if you want to send me a Bitcoin, I'll take one of those too. So I don't know. Super chat.
Super chat.
All right. We're out, guys. Man, I hate to kill it. I got 10 thumbs up. I got 7 people watching right now. Probably plus, because I don't think those numbers are ever accurate. So, but go ahead.
Big ups to George. Thanks for having me on. I had a blast talking with all you folks and just, you know, shooting the shit with George.
Oh, hell yeah, man. Dude, it was great hanging out with you. It's great. It's great hanging out with you.
I'm surprised I'm still up.
I know, dude. You look like you're like a zombie right now.
I am a zombie.
So, all right. I gotta go, guys. He has to go to bed. So, we gotta get up and eat some steak for breakfast. Night, night.
Y'all take it easy.